Shout out to not Jimmy Stewart, man. Shout out to not Jimmy Stewart. I'm cool, man. Y'all crazy in the chat. What the hell y'all? The hell is going on? Selma Hayek. Shout out to Selma Hayek, man. Yeah, Selma Hayek was excellent jack off material back in the 90s, man. We didn't have Instagram, man, so thank you, Selma Hayek, man. We didn't have Instagram, man. We ain't have all this plethora of jack off material that these guys have now, man. Shout out to Selma Hayek, man. Could you imagine being a teenager now? Could you imagine being a teenager now with Instagram, I would never leave my room. I would never leave my room. Press 1. If I was a teenager nowadays, I would never leave my room. Press 1. Like these guys don't know how good they got it, man. We used to have to jack off the actresses in movies and shit. And video hoes, man. Video hoes, man. Remember watching Spice? Who remembers Spice? And the Adam and Eve channel. It would be all blurry. You couldn't see it, but you could hear them moaning and shit. You couldn't see it. You could just hear them moaning. It would be like blurry. And sometimes it'll straighten up and you can see a scene or two. Jacking off is sinful. Killing people is sinful. A lot of things is sinful. One thing I can tell you about jacking off is that when you were a teenager and you first learned about jacking off, it's like a revelation, man. When you're a teenager and you first learn about jacking off, it's a revelation, man. It's a revelation, man. If you want to call it sin, it's your business, man. I call it a revelation. You first like, whoa, wait a second. What? Oh shit, you mean I can just do this by myself? Like I can do it as many times as I want. Yeah, man, National Geographic, man. You had to jack off stuff like National Geographic back in the day, man. These cats nowadays, man, they don't know how good they got it. Got eight gazillion Instagram models. Got goddamn OnlyFans. They got X videos, X bunker, and all that shit. We ain't had none of that shit, man. You'd be lucky if you could find it. If you got your hands on a dirty magazine, a Playboy. If you got your hands on an old Playboy or a Hustler magazine, penthouse. Yeah, penthouse. If you got a penthouse, yeah. Those is, you'll be jacking off to the same pictures for fucking years, man. These dudes, man, can you imagine if you was a teenager now and you got Instagram? I don't know how they leave their rooms. My room will be locked. The lotion would be your mom. We're spending so much money on lotion now. Where's all the lotion going? I can't keep a bottle of lotion around here. The Crisco be gone. The Crisco be gone. The lotion be gone. Everything be gone. Oh yeah, Jet, Ebony Jet, the Jet Beauty of the Week. Yeah, man. That's the type of shit we used to jack off to, man. Back in the day, man. We had a rough, man. God, oh, we had a rough. We had it rough, my nigga. We had it rough, my G. We had it rough, my G. Damn. But that's what you had, man. You had to work with, man. You ain't know no better. You had to work with what you had, man. We were soldiers back in them days, man. We were soldiers, man. That shit built character, man. Jacking off to these bras built character, man. That shit built character, man. Oh yeah, I used to like Coretta Scott King. That's how crazy it was, man. The jack off the Coretta Scott King, man. Oh, the 80s was a motherfucker, man. The 80s was rough, Jack. 80s was a motherfucker, Jack. Yeah, man. I used to think Coretta Scott King was fine, man. I used to be like, I used to have a crush on Coretta Scott King, man. Seeing her in them black and white pictures, man. Hell yeah. I jack off to Coretta Scott King, man. Fuck that shit, man. It was rough back in them days, man. We had it rough, man. You know what I'm saying? He jacked off the share. Hey, man, whatever floats your boat, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. Whatever floats your boat, man. Share wasn't my cup of tea, but hey, man, whatever floated your boat, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. It was rough back in them days, man. God damn, man. Yeah, rough, Jack. This is all we had, man. This is what we had, man. You had to work with what you had, man. I know Janet Jackson used to get it, man. Janet Jackson used to get it, man. I used to, I know Janet Jackson probably like, damn, this nigga. If Janet Jackson ever meet me, she gonna be like, she just go, a wave gonna go up her body. She like, if me and Janet Jackson was ever in the same room, she'll be like, she would notice my presence. Oh, goddamn chemistry and shit, man. She would be, she'd be like, I feel like I know you from somewhere. Press one. Janet would be like, man, I feel like I know you from somewhere. Do I know you? I'm like, nah, we ain't never met before, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Yeah, these dudes, they winning now, man. We had it rough, man. Yeah, these old basic ass broads, man. These broads ain't had no glam, they ain't had no glow. These bitches, this is before the glow up, man. These bitches ain't had no glow up. It just be a bitch in a it just be a random bitch in a bikini, man. A random bitch in a bikini, man. They ain't had no waist trainers. They ain't had no BBLs. They ain't had no push-up bras. They ain't had none of that shit. They ain't had no eyelashes. They ain't had no lace fronts. These bitches was cave women, man. We was jacking off the cave women, man. We was out here jacking off the cave women, man. Oh, man. Yeah, and it was a hairy situation too, man. This was before they shaved and all types of shit, man. It was a hairy situation down there, man. Them black stars used to have fucking nigger naps in their shit, man. Press one, man. Remember Janet Jack me, man? Janet Jack me used to have nigger naps, man. Janet Jack me had a whole kitchen in her on her shit, man. That shit used to be crazy, man. Them porn stars from yesteryear, man. Them bras used to have whole goddamn nappy. They used to call it the nappy dugout. That's what they used to call it. The nappy dugout. The nappy dugout. Yeah, Tina Turner and shit, man. Jacking off the old bros, man. It was rough back in them days, man. God, oh, man. These young cats don't know how good they got it, man. We used to jack off the cave women, man. Shout out to IRS, man. Y'all young boys don't know how good y'all got it, man. Salute to y'all, man. I ain't mad at y'all, man. Shout out to the young boys, man. I wanted to talk about something too, man. As you know, I wanted to talk about something, man. Um, yeah, women today, they different, man. I wanted to talk about something. I wanted to talk about. I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute, man. Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift, man. And here's the thing, man. Here's the thing, man. There's a lot to be learned, man. If you a man, there's a lot to be learned from this Travis Kelsey Taylor Swift situation. There's a lot to be learned. There's a lot to be learned here, man. Um, I see you guys over on those Manosphere channels and shit. I see y'all. Y'all be over on the Manosphere channels trying to, figure it out. But there's a lot to be learned, man. I think Travis Kelsey is showing a lot of game, man. I think Travis Kelsey is giving a lot of people a tutorial on how it's supposed to be done. Shout out to Travis Kelsey, man. Um, she gotta like you more than you like her. Press one. She gotta like or love you more than you like or love her. Press one. Or it ain't gonna work. It just don't work, man. Do I would listen? I'm not talking about what Taylor Swift and all this bullshit. Whatever that's whatever she is. She's whatever she thinks she is. A 7, an 8, a 9. I personally think she's a. I could give Taylor Swift a 7. I could give her a 7, man. She's tall. She's pretty. Um, I could go with a 7. I'm fine with a 7. Anything above a 7, then you probably in the danger zone. But a 7 is fair. I could give Taylor a 7. I'm fine with that. I won't argue you if you give her a 7. But listen, the body's natural, so it's not like she's got a natural body, man. She's got a regular old natural body. She got a like we just talked about. She got an '80s body, man. That's why she named her album 1989 because she got a 1989 body, man. Um, But you see how Travis Kelce is letting her do everything? You notice how he letting her do everything? You gotta let the girl do everything. Too often, I'm seeing all this stuff about dating and taking women to the Cheesecake Factory and all this bullshit. Nah, man, you gotta let them do everything. You just gotta be there, man, and let them do everything. Press 1, man. I need some input from the ladies, man. You gotta let the girl do everything, man. You gotta let her hunt, man. You see how Taylor out here hunting, man? She hunting this nigga. She hunting Travis Kelce, man. She like a goddamn hunter in the woods, man, hunting this dude down, man. Stalking him. You gotta let them do everything, man. Listen, I'm not talking about celebrity and all this bullshit. I'm just talking about two people in a relationship, man. All this Illuminati, places after bullshit. Look, man, sometimes you just gotta, everything ain't about all that shit. They high profile people. But you see how he just let her do the chasing? You know he ain't chasing her. He just sitting back. He doing him. He playing the games. He doing this thing. And he let her do all the work, man. You gotta let the woman do all the work, man. Yeah. Once she like you, you can fuck it up by doing too much. Press 1. And I need the women to chime in. Once she likes you, you can fuck it up by doing too much. And in this case, Taylor Swift obviously liked this guy. So he don't do nothing. He don't say nothing. He don't do nothing. He just right, but he treating her like another chick. That's good. That's a good thing to do. He not treating her like she Taylor Swift, which is great. That's what you. It's hard for it would be hard to do that for a lot of guys. But he's doing that. He's treating her like she's just another chick on his dick. Just a random chick that's just jocking him. He letting her do all the work. Yeah, man. Listen, man. As soon as Travis Kelce starts jocking her and chasing her around, she's going to lose interest instantly. Press 1. Soon as Travis Kelce starts chasing her around, she's going to lose interest instantly. See, a lot of y'all don't understand you can learn game from watching things. You don't have to look at everything like, oh my God, this is Hollywood. This is the weirdest thing. Yeah, we get it, man. You're the smartest person in the room, and you know that Hollywood is da 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 da. I'm talking about it from a game perspective, from a man and female perspective. Salute to Brenda. She says $5 challenge. Everyone to help out with that shoddy internet in that tiny closet. Nah, man, I'm on the road. I'm going back home tomorrow, man. I'm going back home tomorrow, man. To my to my Xfinity, man. I'm going back home to my Xfinity tomorrow, man. So the shit gonna be good tomorrow. Yeah, listen, man. I just want to show y'all that, man. Watch dudes that got game, man. It's sometimes like every dude, every guy out here, man. Stop acting like you don't want to improve your game. Dudes acting like I see y'all on them. I remember all the pickup artists, the PUA back in the early 2000s. Pickup artists and NLP, non-linguistic programming. I remember y'all used to do all that stuff. PUA and NLP and all this bullshit dudes used to do to get girls. And now motherfuckers act like I'm crazy for showing you the game on Travis Kelce and on Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce is a player, man. He's showing you how to do it, man. Keep your fucking mouth shut and let her do all the work. And you just sit back and listen and shit. I bet you when she be talking and shit, he probably don't even know what the fuck she be saying. He probably just be sitting there thinking about plays, but he keep his mouth shut. I bet you he don't tell her. I bet you when they together, he don't be like, oh man, I had a rough game, man. Patrick wouldn't throw me the ball, the offensive coordinator. I bet you he don't say shit. I bet you just sit back and listen to her run her fucking mouth all day. Because at this point in the relationship, you got to let her do all the work. Press 1. Nah, you said she going to be the man in the relationship? Nah, y'all confused being a man with a woman hunting. Women are hunters, man. Women are hunters. Women are hunters. Women will go anywhere for their man. A woman will go in the fucking listen, man. A square bitch will go to the projects, walk through the fucking most dangerous hood in the projects to fucking go see her man. Women are hunters, man. Right. Somebody said he trying to run away now. But that's only going to make her want him more. Press 1. That's only going to make her want him more. Press 1. If because he probably like, oh shit, this bitch is a goddamn stalker, man. Bitch showing up to all my fucking games, like, damn, bitch, don't you got an album or something? That's only gonna make her like him more. Women aren't good at conversation. Women are good at word. Women are good at talking about themselves. Press 1. Women ain't good at conversation. Women are good at talking about themselves. The second you start talking about yourself, that's where the conversation get fucking. Women don't like talking about themselves. They don't want to talk. They don't give a fuck about you, man. All she care about you is the fuck. She gonna make little notes like, okay, like this, he like that. His ex-girlfriend did this. His ex-girlfriend did that. This is ex-girlfriend name. It's this other bitch over here that's in the fucking orbit. There's another bitch over here in the orbit. That's all she care about. She don't give a fuck about your conversation, man. All the woman want to do is talk about herself. All women want to do is talk about themselves. That's why you can meet a girl and get her whole life story. You can meet a girl for the first time you meet her and get her whole life story. Press 1. You know how many girls I met in the first night I got their whole life story? Press 1. And I'm just let them talk. Just let them talk. Woman will give you her whole life story, man. The first time you meet her, if you just shut the fuck up. If you just shut the fuck up, a woman will give you her whole life story. Yeah. My wife be mad. She like, well, I don't talk, man. Fuck that shit, man. Bitch, I'm not talking. As soon as I say something about myself, it's gonna be an argument. As soon as I say something, it's gonna be an argument. Somebody's feelings gonna get hurt. And I'm like, oh shit. Salute to Dak man. 2018. He says, hey, I signed up for a monthly subscription on one of your channels, but I noticed that your other channels still block me as a member after 12 p.m. What? After 12 p.m.? I didn't even know you could. I didn't, first of all, I didn't block you. Let me make sure you're not blocking this channel. You just donated. Let me make sure you're not blocked. But yeah, man. After 12 p.m. That's crazy. But yeah, man. I just wanted to drop that game on y'all so y'all can know, man. Listen, man. You can learn a lot from Travis Kelce, man. That dude is not, he's showing you how to do it, man. Just don't say nothing, man. I know it's hard. It's hard to not want to talk when you're in a conversation with somebody. Trust me, I know. But the less you talk, the better, man. The less you talk, the better. Yeah, now you're not blocked over here, Dak, man. Yeah, and I just wanted to share that with you guys, man. A woman don't want to listen. A woman don't want to hear what you got to say. And when I say that, I'm not saying that like I'm just talking about like when you're talking, like say what you and a woman are talking, just having a conversation. That's fine, you know. That's fine, you know. Don't get me wrong. You can kind of converse with a woman once she in the beginning. But I'm talking about once you're in a relationship with that woman. I'm talking about after the first stage. Yeah, y'all done met and all this. Now y'all in a relationship. Y'all fucking or whatever, you know? She hanging out. She leaving shit at your apartment and shit. She fussing at you about other girls and shit. Shit like that. Once y'all there, man, she don't give a fuck about nothing you gotta say. And most of the shit you gonna say is gonna start an argument. No matter how benign or innocent it is. If you're a man and you're in a relationship, most of the things you say are going to start an argument. Press one. No matter how innocent they are. She won't find some reason to fucking get offended or some shit like that. So yeah, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. That's why I say, man, you want these women? Be careful, man. Once you get them, man, you can be stuck with these bitches. You can be stuck with them. R.I.P. man to Mathew Perry, man. He drowned in the jacuzzi, man. God, oh, shit. Homie drowned in the jacuzzi. Have you heard the story of Samantha Wall yet? I heard some Jewish crew chick got wiped out. I know I heard something about that. Some Jewish crew chick that got wiped out. He fell asleep in the pool. How did Mathew Perry die, man? I thought he had a cardiac arrest or something. Jacuzzi, man. Hey, man. That's a rough one, man. He died in the jacuzzi. Yeah, no traces of drugs. He had a long history of drug use. 54. He said cardiac arrest from fentanyl, then drowned. Probably so, yeah. Because he had a long history of drugs. He was an addict, man. He said no, he couldn't find the drugs. Yeah, man. My man died in the jacuzzi, man. God, dog, man. It was a rough way to go out, man. I ain't even know jacuzzis was still a thing. I swear, man, I didn't know that was still a thing, man. I thought that was the 80s, man. I thought jacuzzis went out of style in the 90s, man. You still in jacuzzis, man? Jacuzzis was the 80s and the 90s, man. Hey. My man died in the jacuzzi. Yikes. Have you guys noticed that the news about the war is kind of Hamas and Israel? Americans, we don't have bandwidth for that shit, man. Once a story get to be like a week or two old, man, we like, man, fuck this shit, man. You like, man, what's next, man? What's next, man? Americans is like, what's next, man? We tired of that stupid ass war, man. That shit ain't got nothing to do with us, man. What's next? He said, hold up. Yeah, man. Shout out to shout out to Friends. I never watched Friends, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man, but I was aware of them. They social icons, man. And as always, man, please take the $5 challenge via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. I just want to show y'all something, man.
Living Single is an American television sitcom that aired for 5 seasons on Fox Network. From 1993 to 1998, we followed a group of single friends living in Brooklyn, New York. The success of Living Single may have been unanticipated, but it was no accident. Over 25 years ago, a determined 27-year-old writer named Yvette Denise Lee, now Yvette Lee Bolzer, found herself with a rare welcome opportunity, the chance to create a show around the comic legend Kim Coles and the rap phenom Queen Latifah. After writing on shows like A Different World and Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Lee Bolzer.
You do know black people saying that Friends took Living Single. Black people, man, they turn everything. They turn everything in a race, man.
Of the lack of diversity, and I campaigned for years to have Ross date women of color. Gina, aka Regine Hunter. John Henton played Overton, aka O.B. Wakefield Jones. T.C. Carson played Kyle Barker. And these friends, who just so happened to be Black, lived in the same Brooklyn brownstone together. Now, a year later, a show called Friends launched, which followed a set of friends who lived in the same building, but instead of Brooklyn, in Manhattan. Friends is considered by many an iconic 90s TV show. The NBC sitcom starred Jennifer Aniston, Lisa Kudrow, Courtney Cox, David Schwimmer, Mathew Perry, and Matt LeBlanc. This show ran for 10 years on NBC and continues in syndication, just like Living Single. In a recent interview with The Guardian, David Schwimmer, aka Ross, stated, "I was well aware of the lack of diversity, and I campaigned for years to have Ross date women of color. One of the first girlfriends I had on the show was an Asian American woman, and later I dated an African American woman. That was a very conscious push on my part." While addressing how he benefited from white privilege, Schwimmer then said, "Maybe there should be an all-Black Friends or an all-Asian Friends." And it was then that I realized that many of our non-Black allies have the space to remove the knife and put it right back into the same wound. So you mean to tell me, you mean to tell me that you were aware that Friends was very whitewashed, but you weren't aware that there was a Black show in which your show was the blueprint of? So you've never heard of Living...
It's exhausting being Black, man. It's exhausted, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. It's exhausting, man. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. It's exhausting, man. It's exhausting.
What's up, you guys? I'm back. And I wanted to discuss David Schwimmer Ross from the show Friends suggesting an all-black remake of the show Friends, which is outrageous considering the fact that Friends is actually a remake, a gentrified reboot of the show Living Single.
Friends is a gentrified reboot of Living Single. Black folks, white people, man, how do y'all do it, man? I need to have some. I'm gonna drop a link in a minute. How do y'all do this, man? How do y'all deal with us, man? How do y'all deal with us, man?
And it's actually outrageous to me that the star of Friends, which is a remake of the show Living Single, would actually suggest there be a all-black remake of the show Friends. It's outrageous to me whether he didn't know that Friends was a remake of Living Single or whether he's pretending not to know that Friends was a remake of Living Single, or even if he forgot that he knew that Friends was a remake of Living Single. Either situation, either scenario is outrageous to me. Now, before we get deeper into this, I just want to get into the actual factuals that Friends is literally a reboot, a remake, a gentrified version of Living Single. Queen Latifah, who is a credible source, as they say, Queen Latifah, who is a credible source, spoke on this in 2016 before this was even a controversy. She spoke on this because she was asked about it, and she was asked, was Friends a remake of Living Single? And she explained how she was in a meeting, some type of meeting or conference with the president of NBC, and Living Single aired on Fox. And the president of NBC was asked if he could have any show that aired on Fox, what would it be? And he said he would have Living Single. And the next thing she knew, Friends was airing on NBC. The fact that the star of Friends, Ross, was arguably the star of Friends, the fact that he either didn't know, was pretending not to know, or forgot that he knew that Friends is a gentrified remake of Living Single.
That's the third time she called it a gentrified remake of Living Single. Damn, baby. We on y'all ass, man. We on y'all ass, man.
All right, man. Erica Alexander, who was Maxine on Living Single, sparked a debate or brought up a heated debate once again, where David Schwimmer from Friends got at the top of the picture between the two ladies right there, basically said that they need to come out.
Man. If Living Single was if Living Single was realistic, man, one of them, somebody would have got killed. If Living Single was realistic, somebody would have got killed, man. No bullshit, man. If Living Single was realistic, somebody would have got killed, man. Let's cut the bullshit, man. Somebody would have went to jail, man. One of them dudes would have just came home from jail. One of them guys would have just came home from jail. The fights between the girls would have been crazy.
handful of movies and TV shows whose entire existence seemed to just be a black version of something that originally wasn't. Okay, so you know about medieval England? What if we put a black guy there? Remember the movie Fatal Attraction? What if we made that, but it was with black people? That's right, Martin. That's exactly what this movie that you are currently starring in is like. Thank you for referencing that. You know Tales from the Crypt? What if we set it in the hood and, actually this one isn't fair. Even though it absolutely fits the mold, Tales from the Hood came from a genuine place by director Rusty Cundiff, wanting to tell horror stories from a black perspective, and probably got lumped into a much more stereotypical mold than it otherwise would have. Anyway, throughout the 90s, this kind of entertainment was very common. It seemed as though for black audiences, the only things out there were either gangster tragedies or black versions of previously white stories. And this idea was nothing new either. Way back
that's that's what Friends would look like, man, if it was, I mean, Living Single, man. If Living Single was accurate, man, that's what it would look like, man. That's Living Single, man. We are living single. 97.
stories. And this idea was nothing new either. Way back in the early 20th century, the predominant argument amongst black intellectual circles was whether black created art should aspire to be as good as white art, or whether it should just be its own thing, and whether showcasing that should include portraying the vices and excesses that plagued many black communities. And by the 1990s, it seemed like this central question had not found any substantial answers, which leads us to the creation of Living Single, the black counterpart to Friends. Living Single was one of my favorite sitcoms growing up and has largely been forgotten. I mean, it's not like you can still find merchandise for it in Hobby Lobby or Joann's Fabric Store. I could be wrong, but it's a show that almost no one talks about anymore. Living Single is about a group of 6 friends that live in adjoining apartments in New York City. There is Khadijah, played by Queen Latifah, a pushy, headstrong entrepreneur. Sinclair, her ditzy airhead friend. Regina, a spoiled, privileged one, and Khadijah's childhood friend. In the other apartment, there's Kyle, a business type, and Obi, a dummy comic relief character with a funny-sounding accent. Finally, there's Max, a character who doesn't live in the building and whose job comes up often. She also acts in a way that is inconsistent with her gender stereotypes, so they seem to blend in no matter which group they're interacting with. The show is pretty much exactly what you would expect a Friends clone to be. The group of friends spend much of their time freely coming and going in each other's apartments. Sometimes they enter romantic relationships with outsider guest stars, and sometimes they get into relationships with each other. But unlike Friends, Living Single would peter out after just 5 seasons. And to be honest, I can't really find a definitive answer as to why. Most of the accounts paint the picture that many of those involved just didn't want to do the show anymore, for reasons that range from problems with the production team to serious personal issues. But for its time on the air, Living Single, the black equivalent to Friends, was truly a 90s sitcom classic in its own right. Wait. 1993? Holy shit, 1993? But Friends premiered in 1994. Holy shit, guys. Okay, forget everything I said up until now. Forget the video title that I'm going to add anyway once I edit and upload this, because Living Single wasn't the black Friends. Friends was the white Living Single. NBC took the show about a group of friends living in adjoining apartments in New York City and just... I can't fucking believe this. You know, I have never liked people who are really into Friends, and now I have good reason. Because it's all bullshit. Like how The Matrix was ripped straight from some episodes of Doctor Who in the 70s and some Japanese cartoon. This is all bullshit. Fuck you, Courtney Cox. You're a poor excuse for Queen Latifah. All hail the original. I spit on the imposter. Nothing makes sense anymore.
We dropped the link, man. Yeah, we invented Jeopardy, man. We did invent Jeopardy, though, man. I'm going to show you that, man. We invented Jeopardy, man. Black people did invent Jeopardy, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. I'm going to... In a 90s kind of world, I'm glad I got my girls. Keep your head up, boy. Keep your head up. That's right. Whatever you got to go, you got to fight. Old girl stands in my left, in my right, blue, blue. Tight like glue. Check it out. Check it out. We are living single. It's a 90s type of world. I'm glad that I've got my girls. Keep your head up. What? Keep your head up. That's right. What if they would have just jacked the whole theme song? They'd be like, we are living. They'd have made it a white version of the song and shit. They'd have popped that song up and shit. Yeah, man, we on you white folks' ass, man. We on you white folks' ass, man. We on you white folks' ass. Oh shit. Black Jeopardy. Oh man, let's get into it, man. Oh man, give me a city, man. Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and do. Let me do this one real quick. Is it Mansfield? Here we go. Yeah, here we go.
Tonight, a shooting at a party in Mansfield left 2 teenagers dead and 4 more injured. Emma Henderson is in Mansfield and has the latest.
According to Mansfield police, they believe between 30 and 50 people were at this house last night when shots rang out. A 17 and an 18-year-old are now dead, and the 4 victims that were injured are between the ages of 14 and 19. This happened close to midnight last night in the 800 block of Ferndale Road. Officers fielded multiple calls about shots fired, and when they arrived on scene, that's when they saw the 2 teenage victims who had died. Mansfield police say they collected a multitude of evidence from the scene, including guns and drugs.
It just seems like it was a party and somebody walked up into it, came up into it, and started shooting. We don't know if there was something that happened earlier in the night or something happened at the front door. There was some argument.
Think about it. They don't know anything. Like, just think about that, man. That's just so bizarre. Like, there were 30, like, this isn't like a mystery. This isn't like forensic files where you gotta fucking find a footprint and fucking, and pour mold into a footprint. Or you gotta like find a hair somewhere in a rug or some shit. Or a fingerprint on a cabinet fucking handle or some shit. We're talking about 30 to 50 people were there. 2 people are dead, 4 are wounded. And the cops can't get a half a lead from nobody. God, dog.
Party party and somebody walked up into it, came up into it, and started shooting. We don't know if there was something that happened earlier in the night or something happened at the front door. There was some argument going on. We don't have that information yet.
Mansfield police say, according to witnesses, a group of people fled the scene both on foot and in cars and weren't able to get a good description. If you know anything about this case, you are encouraged to come forward, and we have information about the specific detectives that you need to reach out to right now at WKYC.com.
Maybe they can collect DNA evidence from the blunt wraps. The roaches and shit.
It's just bizarre, man. Like, it's like you would just think that like somebody would be able to, like, it's just, you think the cops are just like kind of like being like, what's the word? They're being, this is like them fighting back. They're just like, hey man, anybody know? All right, fuck it, y'all know shit. Like,
yeah,
they could beat the streets for a lead. They could, some good police work. You could find something, right?
Nah, that's broken windows policing. This is the new age.
Just bizarre.
Oh, you got shot. All right, we'll look into it.
Jeez.
On it, and we want to get straight to that breaking news.
Yeah, 2 teens dead, 4 others injured after an overnight shooting that we were talking about that's taking place in Mansfield. Live in Mansfield is Kira Cotton. She joins us there with the latest. Kira, good morning to you.
Good morning, Austin and Danielle. A tough scene to process here this morning. As you mentioned, 6 teens were shot last night and 2 are dead. And police are investigating currently what happened and who is responsible. Now, this all happened just before midnight last night on Ferndale Road when police say a party was going on when they received numerous calls for shots fired and people running from the area. Now, at the scene, 2 teens were pronounced dead, and the other 4 were transported to a nearby hospital. The victims range in age from 14 to 19 years old. However, we do not know the condition of those other 4 victims
14
that
years old.
remain hospitalized.
And this is your guns are the #1 killer for children in America.
Well, yeah, black children in particular.
Yeah, black children
overwhelmingly. Well, they do count in like collider suicides with that shit too. But as far as like getting smoked by somebody else, it's only happening to black children, really, for the most part.
Yeah, homicides it's black kids.
At this time, police say, as you can see behind me, they are looking, continuing to collect evidence and investigating who is responsible for this incident. They are asking anyone in the community with any information
I'm wondering who's responsible for that last name.
Find these suspects. And again, this is a developing story that we'll continue to follow all morning long. Austin and Danielle.
Okay, thank you so much, Kira.
Man, it's been a while since we went down to Jacksonville.
Local news, Jacksonville police are now investigating the city's 102nd murder of the year after a teenager was shot to death at an apartment complex. It happened this morning at the Valencia Way Apartments on the west side.
Friends of the victim have already begun making a memorial at the spot where he died. They've identified him as 17-year-old London Mungan. And News4Jax reporter Eric Avigny joining us live from
London Mungan.
Mungan, yeah. They left one of those Umbrito candles there.
London Mungan. I wasn't expecting that, man. We might have
undetermined.
Yeah, man, we might have aberration here, man.
Oh, no, some named Mungan.
We might have something. This might be the first. Well, let me tell you this, man. Jacksonville, though. Nah. Yeah, nah.
He's a 17-year-old rapper in Jacksonville.
Yeah, aka London 2 Turns. He's a rapper. So
London
yeah.
2 Turns.
Damn, that's crazy. London two-turn. And that rapper from last night in Memphis, he ended up dying. Big Motor.
Oh,
this is
rip.
So this is
I guess.
the second rapper to get killed in a few days, man. So we've lost 2 rappers in a few days, man.
Somebody get a statement from Boosie.
What about Jay-Z, man? What about
Oh,
Obama?
Regular said Mungan is Caribbean. That's a Caribbean son.
Shit, man. This is everybody give a moment of silence. We've lost 2 rappers in the last few days, man. Moment of silence. Okay.
Pour out your
What's
lead.
up, man? Yeah. London two-turn.
Morning at the Valencia Way Apartments on the west side.
Friends of the victim have already begun making a memorial at the spot where he died. They've identified him as 17-year-old London Mungan. And News4JAX reporter Eric Avanier joining us live from JSO headquarters with the latest on the search for a killer. Eric.
And so far, there is no word from detectives here at JSO headquarters on the identity of a suspect, let alone the events that led up to that fatal shooting. Now, a woman we are not identifying strictly for safety reasons says that she tried to keep the victim alert until first responders could arrive. It was in the area of this walkway between the parking lot and an apartment building inside the Valencia Way apartment.
London, man, that's what you got, man. Shit, man. Can you imagine if a cop killed this kid?
There.
If a cop killed this kid, you wouldn't be able to see dirt, grass, or nothing. It would just be like a sea of balloons and candles.
You know, this kind of reminds me of George Floyd's memorial.
Yeah, man, this is really, really sad, man. Y'all can do better. Jacksonville, do better, man.
And an apartment building inside the Valencia Way apartment complex, where neighbors say 17-year-old London Mungan took his last breath. Shortly before 5:30 Wednesday morning, multiple people called 911 to report a shooting. A neighbor we are not identifying as a safety precaution describes what she saw when she opened her door.
He was laying down right up on the concrete.
Was he still conscious?
Yes, he was still breathing when I saw him.
That's a system. You can play that kind of modulation on that shit. That's a goddamn system.
The fact that you got to do this, though, man, just the fact that these are the people that are crying and whining about everything, right? And she's from the main faction of them black women that cry and whine and accuse everybody of being nefarious towards them and
outspoken about, so-called state-sponsored racial terrorism. But when it comes to, Pookie on the block, they gotta get the fucking, ultra modulator on that shit. Nah, I need the premium one.
She can't even talk about a young kid killed in front of her fucking apartment because that community is that violent and that unpredictable and that evil that she could be killed for that. That's crazy. That's why I wanted to get some gliders up here. I'm glad you came up, man, because how do y'all square that, man? Like, how's a glider, and I'm not talking about in Oc Nation terms, like not based terms, but like glider people that that aren't based and aren't, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do they square that this woman would literally accuse, if a white person said you people, this woman would literally have a conniption.
I don't think most of the ones that have not considered this very much have considered it to the point of thinking about why, they are free to talk about this one thing, which is supposedly surrounding and encompassing society. And designed to put the boot on their neck freely, but they can't talk about the murders that happen every day in their community. The fact that every one of them knows that somebody that's been shot to death, in a drive-by or some shit, that can't be talked about freely. They haven't thought about why that is.
Oh, so white people just don't. They don't care about black people like that.
Well, this is some of the most effective terrorism, in existence, really. I mean, this is like low-level domestic terrorism, basically, that happens in Blakistan. And, maybe gliders are the primary threat to go in and shoot and kill like 25 people in a single instance. But what are people really afraid of in the United States?
Wow.
But most gliders, just don't know. They're just afraid
Anyone
of getting
try to
jacked. They
render
know
aid
that there's
before
that danger.
police got here?
I wouldn't.
You said what?
Oh, sorry. I'm just, most gliders aren't really thinking about it. They just know that, oh, I'm in a bad neighborhood. Like, they have a subconscious understanding that, like, being around a lot of sun people suddenly in, like, bad-looking neighborhood means you're in danger. But, they're not at the level of, speaking the danger.
No, but are they indignant? Are they like?
No, I don't think so. I think they're sympathetic more than indignant, unfortunately.
I mean, like, as a white person, if I know that I already walk on eggshells, I already, know every statement I make around or about black people, I run it through a filter, several times before I say it. And the most likely person to gotcha me or pounce out of the fucking bushes if I make one tiny little mistake in, while I'm in language or tone deafness or unconscious bias, is a black woman who can't even use her voice on the fucking news.
Well, that's one reason that, I'm at this point, I think, and one of the other big ones is like, we're told that some people are suffering physically violence at the hands of gliders all over the United States constantly, and yet, evidence suggests otherwise everywhere you go. So, like the complete opposite. I think that wakes a lot of gliders up. That one.
Multiple people called 911 to report a shooting. A neighbor we are not identifying as a safety precaution describes what she saw when she opened her door.
He was laying down right here on concrete.
Was he still conscious?
Yes, he was still breathing when I saw him.
Did anyone try to render aid before police got here?
Because I wouldn't know what to do, but I did try to talk him to stay up. I talked to him, tried to stay up, but he was staying fast.
She says Mungan's girlfriend also tried to help him, but when first responders arrived on the scene, they pronounced him dead. News4Jax has learned from neighbors and friends of Mungan that he didn't live here, but had friends and relatives who did. They also learned he was well known here and was considered a talented rapper with a distinguished flow of words.
I didn't know he was so gifted with his flow.
So that flow is really something. When he got shot, flowed all over the fucking pavement, and that was that.
Oh my god! I
wonder if we can find any of his rap.
Yeah, we're gonna listen to some Silence of London 2 Turned On. And hear his gifted flow in a second, man.
Considered a talented rapper with a distinguished flow of words.
I didn't know he was so gifted with his flow. I definitely just heard like one song of his the other day and mentioned it to him yesterday.
What led up to the fatal shooting remains unclear, and so far, no suspect has been named. City Councilwoman Tyrona Clark Murray spoke with News4Jax off camera. She represents this district and was asked about Mungan's death inside the complex. She said he was staying with someone else, someone involved.
Sister, City Councilwoman. Look at that place. Like this place, think about it. Like this right here, this could be a utopia. I mean, every unit has electricity. Every unit has cable wiring. Every unit has first-rate plumbing. Every unit has like the accoutrements of like the first world. And this is literally no different than like a fucking village in the Congo jungle. It's crazy. Like it is. It's no different.
I don't see them stuffing like 700 people in 40 square feet yet.
Well, I mean, that's because they can't.
Yeah, there are laws against that, I guess.
Yeah, they can't.
Shooting remains unclear, and so far, no suspect has been named. City Councilwoman Tyrona Clark Murray spoke with News4Jax off camera. She represents this district and was asked about Mungan's death inside the complex. She said he was staying with someone else, someone involved in other criminal activities, and it caught up with him.
Don't say.
Very unfortunate that he didn't have a chance to live yet. She also said it's not the apartment complex fault this happened. It's groups of people involved in criminal activity. Now, if anyone has information that can help authorities make an arrest in this case, you are urged to strongly call JSO. You can also call Crime Stoppers. Reporting live from JSO headquarters, Eric Avignon, Channel 4, the local.
Yeah, man, let's hear some of these stylings, man. London, two-turn, man.
I'm sure he's not better than that one kid that went viral, the little like 7-year-old. I bet he's not better than him.
Let's see, man. Let's see.
That interview was pretty good.
Coming in hot. Coming in pretty hot there, ain't you?
Got the poo shiesty.
All the tropes.
Whole lot of blood, so you know the fuck going on. Go. But I say fuck that. Stop car, let me hop out. Bitch, I'm trying to put his ass in this gar. I ain't trying to leave a bitch like damn. Why you niggas trying? Like I already smoked the bitch like damn. Why she tell a lie? Talking about I beat a bitch like niggas know I get grind.
She didn't know what that black woman said. She didn't know the black woman gifted voice modulators. What she said.
He was known as a rapper with a particularly gifted flow of words.
It was different.
Yeah, man. He was.
Yeah, it's a black flow. Look, it's in the fucking title.
Oh my God, man. This community is literally comedy, man. Please take the $5 challenge, be a PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. Support the channel.
It's really kind of sick what they'll call gifted. It'd be like, oh man, I'll hop out the car, rape a bitch, stick the gun in her face, and then he was an up and coming rapper who is using his words to bring change to his community.
Poetry. I love how they always casually just talk about killing your other son, man.
Yeah,
it just rolls off the tongue.
That's just what they do, man.
This is almost like a skit, man. Like, it's unreal that the woman with the voice modulator who was scared of reprisal just for having held his head while he was dying. Like she didn't give him first aid and save his life or nothing. She didn't cooperate with the police.
They asked her what she said. She said, I didn't know what to do, but I told him to stay with us. And fucking Regular had me die and saying that was probably her real voice.
Yeah. And it's like she thinks that this is good. She thinks that this is really great.
Go. But I say fuck that. Start the car, let me hop out with this bitch. I'm trying to put his ass in this gar. I ain't trying to leave a bitch like damn. Why you niggas trying? Like I already smoked the bitch like damn. Why you tell a lie? Talking about I beat a bitch like niggas know I get grimy. Niggas know I just get slimy. Leave his ass dead in the grass. Man, them niggas pass. I don't say too much. Damn, them niggas really proud. Why these niggas keep playing like I don't roll up, like I don't get high? Wood drop some niggas, I be going federal, not or not. So I gotta keep going. Make my pockets big, rare now. Talking about Mr. Fat Man, Mr. Clustables, yeah, they big now. Tell my shooter before, make his pockets like a smurf now. Hit the off position, like I know, man, knock him down. One by one, get him gone. See, they don't come around. Niggas keep on talking, it's that slimy shit, you don't talk about it. This that same shit that got your people killed, that lullaby like dead. Last nigga try to play. His head on red. Nigga tried to play, he know I beat that blood, I'm red slat. Nigga know I'm slimy, just conniving, I need you dead, bitch. I be real with it. Tell my addict blizzard with a switch. This a kill switch. Niggas know we did shit. I be outside in this bitch like damn, they ain't did shit. Tell little Brody stop all that yapping, you ain't kill shit. Trying to figure out what kill you kill. You ain't kill nobody. Oh God, you ain't kill nobody.
Y'all thought this shit was over.
Go! Hey, bang his ass. Hey, hop and get the bus and we gon' flame his ass. You don't want no smoke. Hey, you don't want no smoke. Look, I thought we bust go grab me a stick. Niggas be jocking they out with my dick. If a nigga move wrong, we gon' set out the bitch. Nigga move wrong, gon' set out this bitch. Pop me a pretty and I get on my body. I switch my flow and I'm feeling like Roddy. Got me a stick, but ain't come out of the box. Our nigga play so he not off his top. Them bases be feed me, I pop at the pot. We drop any nigga like stock at the stop. I'm assuming my drink got your heart on loud. We got him, we got him, ain't talking boss, gang. Hey, we spot him, we got him, ain't talking we boss. Hey.
Hey, that shit was trash.
Right.
Yikes. He's on the gun memorial.
I'm gonna give him one more try, man. Let's give him one more chance, man. In honor of, you know, life well lived, man. I think he deserves one more chance, man.
If I told you that I love you, baby, I'ma keep it real. Got me taking all these perks to heal my pain, I'm trying to heal. I don't wanna do no fighting, let me talk, it's gon' reveal. I've been trapped up in my thoughts, but in my head, that's how I feel. Wrote this song just to tell you I'm in love, no, I'm for real. Late nights, we taking walks, let it feel your hands for you, I kill. Walking in demons and spin a bag, you know I'm fresh up off a drill. We can be lovers and friends, don't push that boy, what's the deal? Take my soul, take my soul, take my soul. If I ever sign a deal, won't let you go. I've been sipping all this lean, I'm feeling low. Bet the odds won't catch me slipping, I keep my pole. I've been down for so long, I'm finna blow. I overdose some off these pills, take some more. I swear I love you till my heart won't ever fall. Get in my feelings and think about it, and you watch me grow. Nah. Switch my flow from time to time, girl, I promise I won't stop. And I leave you to the end, just like this, boy, yeah, we gon' ride. I'm in this foreign going fast, girl, watch your head, man, drop the top. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe, it's a vibe, it's a vibe. It's a vibe, it's a vibe. It's a vibe, it's a vibe, it's a vibe. Hold on, I'm a part of the world. I've been thumbing through these racks. Bonnie and Clyde, let's take a trip. We can get in this little pool, we can take a look there. See these diamonds on
See that black cat in the background? Look at this black cat come out the cut, man. Right here. Watch that.
I'm a part of the world. I've been thumbing through these racks. Bonnie and Clyde, let's take a trip.
Yo, that was crazy. That's creepy, though, what happened. Because that
Ops
wasn't
definitely
his...
caught him slipping.
Yeah, man, a black cat, man. Black cat. Damn.
How many kids do you think he's got?
Well, this guy probably one.
Or had.
Definitely one.
Good thing. He got to reproduce.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying, man. You glad he's got to have kids, man. You little son, God damn, man.
You know what? I don't think it was as much as a black cat as it was a black man with a black gun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure the cat had much to do with it. Definitely something black, though.
Oh, man, I thought it was the black cat, man. But okay. All right. It might be. You might be right.
You gotta understand that you're brainwashed by this white supremacist system where black is associated with everything bad and white everything good, and 1 + 1 and the Illuminati and the brothers.
Yeah, exactly, man. A lot of going on. A lot of teens getting killed in the stand, man. A lot of teens getting backed up.
Jailbreak out leads to a robbery and other trouble for a St. Louis County teen whose crime spree bled into the city. Tonight, Xavier Royal is back behind bars. The 18-year-old now faces murder charges for shooting another teen, but he should have never been back on the streets. Dan Broxton follows his alleged crime spree after breaking out of a juvenile facility.
Nadia Smith is mourning the death of her son, Iovera Hill, known by most as Rocky.
I guess it was supposed to be a robbery or something.
Her 17-year-old son died here last week in a shooting near Compton in Miami in the Gravois Park neighborhood.
My son went to an Airbnb party.
St. Louis City police say these two guys, 19-year-old Teron Mitchell on the left and 18-year-old Xavier Royal, are responsible. Investigators say they
That's
now...
a rough crowd, man.
Yeah, 19 and 18.
They live
They
that
look
low life.
older.
Right, living fast.
Man, I tell you, man, life ain't been no crystal stair. This is everywhere, man. This stuff is it's the breadth of it too, man. Like, it's not just the volume, it's the fact that, like, if you want to say, like, no, it's not DNA, it's another factor other than DNA. It's really hard, man, for me to believe that you go to sleep at night and when it's just you and your pillow that you don't think that this is DNA. For those who proclaim publicly that it's not DNA, that it's something else. Because this is St. Louis. The other one was Jacksonville. The one before that was Mansfield, Ohio.
The ocean is as wide as it is deep. The abyss of Blakistan knows no bottom.
Yeah, and they're doing this in a society that literally does everything it can to prevent this.
And then some.
Violence in Blakistan never stops.
Yeah. It's just weird, man, that people literally will publicly proclaim, like, it's not DNA, you hate yourself or you're a racist, and like, yo, how could it not be?
The proof is in
You
the
know what I'm
pudding.
saying? Because here's the thing. These are not the black shootings in these cities. These are not the black parties that are getting shot up in these cities. These are not the black musicians. These are the musicians. These are the parties. These are the teens. The only thing that links them is the race. It's not like the gun memorial is the black gun memorial. It's just the gun memorial.
All the people shooting people are black for the most part, and being shot are black for the most part.
Might as well be, Chief.
All the musicians or people making a living or striving at a career in music that have been killed this year, all of them have been black.
In the last 5 years, like, what fucking artist do you know has been fucking shot to death other than John Lennon?
Kyle Hurlitz. In Mansfield, got killed by those little kids, remember?
Oh yeah, okay, well, killed by Sun
singer?
Jeans. But that's well within the norm. I mean,
Yeah, there's none. I can't think of it.
Yeah, and we've had 2 rappers killed in the last few days.
Two guys,
in Jacksonville.
19-year-old Teron Mitchell on the left and 18-year-old Xavier Royal are responsible. Investigators say they now face murder charges in Hale's death.
The kids ran out. Kids bleeding to death.
George Thompson lives a few doors down. Thompson told First Alert 4 he saw the aftermath of the October 8th shooting.
I got to sit around for 2 hours and hear mothers cry over lost children. One damn little bullet.
Residents who live in this Gravois Park neighborhood say that this home has been a rental property for some time now and is starting to become a problem for parties. Friday, the St. Louis Board of Aldermen passed
do
a
we
bill.
not just do this story somewhere else?
The home is the problem. It's the home that's the problem. Like, I'm staying in Airbnb right now, right? There's nothing wrong with this Airbnb, man. It's the people that are renting this Airbnb out that would make it a problem. They're doing the same thing. They're blaming the building.
It's not the home, it's the dome.
Yeah, some people just have a very
Neighborhoods say that
difficult time
this home
attributing the effects.
Yeah, man.
has been a rental property for some time now, and it's starting to become a problem for parties. Friday, the St. Louis Board of Aldermen passed a bill regulating short-term rental properties. Now it needs to be signed off by the mayor. But the St. Louis County courts played a role in letting Royal out on bond, possibly.
So they passed the bill. Think about how and that affects, like, listen, that bill affects people visiting St. Louis. It affects people that, you know, have bought properties for the purpose of renting them out as Airbnbs in St. Louis. All those people are negatively affected because this one group likes to rent those properties and shoot people in them.
Dude, Chris Rock said it in like what 1993. You can't have shit nice with some people around.
Grand opening, grand closing. Salute to Stephanie, man, coming through with the $5 challenge. Salute to Ike Wachuku. Salute to Jose. Salute to Eric S. Op Nation Hall of Famer. Coming through. Salute to Barry B. Shout out to all you guys taking the $5 challenge.
Letting him participate in this murder.
I'm just really at a loss for words.
Last June, at 17 years old, Royal allegedly robbed a Family Dollar in Florissant. Police say Royal walked in with a ski mask on and said, "Come on, girl, this is St. Louis. You know what this is," and produced a black handgun and pointed it at the clerk.
Come on, girl, this the loot. You already know.
Yo, what does it mean, black handgun? Huh?
This is black gun. It's gun in his black hand.
Wow.
Damn.
You know what this is, girl. This is St. Louis, girl. Come on, girl. This is St. Louis.
At least he's self-aware, like.
Yeah, very self-aware. That's the thing. He's him, the rapper. If you just listen to them things that come out of their mouth, they completely understand what's going on.
They embrace their DNA.
Yeah, the only people that are like confused about this are like really educated, nice white people, really educated, nice black people, athletes and celebrities, but no one else is really confused about what's going on.
You know, they always told me that reading books makes you smart, but maybe it makes you dumb.
Yeah.
Ski mask on and said, "Come on, girl, this is St. Louis. You know what this is," and produced a black handgun and pointed it at the clerk. This happened after Royal allegedly jumped 30 feet from the St. Louis County Juvenile Detention Center a month before. His mother, Michelle Royal, who faced charges herself for helping her son after he escaped, points to this line in court documents. A victim identified another guy with dreads with his gun out, and that guy was the shooter. For Nadia Smith, she's left wondering what kind of life her son could have had.
Been out of high school and could have tried to move forward with his life. He was good in my eyes.
Hey, yo, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
A tragedy that shook the city. It was September 2018 when a well-known and well-respected business leader was murdered. Police say 2 young men and a 16-year-old girl were riding around downtown that night looking for someone to rob when they saw Greater Memphis Chamber CEO Phil Trineri walking home from an event. They ended up shooting him.
We did this story, but this is updated. We did this story. This was so sad. This guy was literally, his whole thing was about helping black people in Memphis get like more opportunities. He spent hundreds of thousands of other people's money though, like not necessarily his money, but you know, fundraising and businesses in the area. He spent hundreds of thousands of those people's money and gave it to black programs and stuff. This guy was a fucking, like, I will say this. You know I'm not with the wokey woke shit. But this guy literally should, if they have a Black African American History Museum down in DC, he should have a plaque somewhere in there.
Luckily, he's the only glider to have spent his entire life helping sun people and get killed by a random sun person.
Yeah, he was down for the cause.
No good deed.
A tragedy that shook the city. It was September 2018 when a well-known and well-respected business leader was murdered. Police say 2 young men and a 16-year-old girl were riding around downtown that night looking for someone to rob when they saw Greater Memphis Chamber CEO Phil Trineri walking home from an event. They ended up shooting him. All 3 were later arrested for first-degree murder. And according to court documents we uncovered, the teenage girl, Rikanisha Wright, identified the 2 men she was with herself as the individuals responsible for the attempted robbery. 3 months later, she walked free. Juvenile court staff says they weren't at liberty to discuss what happened. They told us to contact family.
We're Channel 3.
So we did. We went to the address listed in court records. A woman answered the door and told us she's Wright's mother. She says after a closed-door meeting in December 2018, her daughter was allowed to go home, but had to wear an ankle monitor for 6 months. Since then, she told us Wright has been doing well until May of this year. Police linked Wright to this shooting in South Memphis. Court documents state Wright got into a fight with a guy over money. It turned physical. The next day, she and her brother were seen walking down the street by this woman who didn't want to be identified.
He had on a white hood, a long sleeve hood in the middle of the summertime. 100-some degree heat, and he walked like he was coming towards her, and I asked him, what you finna do, try to rob her?
Moments later, investigators say Wright started vigorously flagging down the guy she got into a fight with the day before. He was driving his 2003 green Honda Accord on South Cooper Street. He slowed down, and Wright's brother pulled a handgun from his waistband and shot the guy in the back.
We thought he was shooting up. We jumped down behind our truck because we had said something to him.
A few weeks later, Wright was taken into custody and charged with attempted first-degree murder. And Wright remains locked up. Her mother tells us she was 8 months pregnant at the time of the arrest.
Of course, I knew it. I was going to say that.
While she was incarcerated.
God damn.
She also told us,
fucking disgusting.
This is why I tell you.
There are hardly words for it.
This is why I tell you, I have kids.
I was right about to say the only thing could make it better is she's pregnant.
Jesse Lee Peterson always talks about, I got to give Jesse Lee Peterson credit for this. This isn't my talking point. But I second-hand it. You white people got to start having kids, man. Like, and not just like some fucking bum in Portland and shit. I'm talking about like white people like you, Hot Black and Fisherman. Y'all you should have fucking 20 kids, man. You gotta come back. You gotta balance it out, man.
Yeah, well, how can you compete with the latest model BT that's out here running game on the ops 8 months pregnant?
Yeah, man. I mean, she killed.
It's a literal killing, breeding machine.
She killed the guy. She killed Phil Trinity. She killed one of the most influential people in the state of Tennessee. This guy is not just he was one of the most influential, important people in the state of Tennessee. She's responsible for his murder, and she's responsible for some random Pookie's murder.
Yeah, well, she got off for this and then couldn't help herself and slid on the op. Slid on the dude who tried to rob her or some shit.
Like she's crossed the whole spectrum.
The crazy part is that this is none other than shocking, though.
And it's probably not his first kid.
Yeah, it's like another day in Blakistan.
I mean, is anyone here surprised by any of this?
I mean, I am. I'm not gonna lie, man. I did because I did this story when it happened in 2018, and I did another update on it a few years later. And yeah, I was shocked that how the way that guy went out, man. Because it's not like Pavel Appear. It's kind of like Pavel Appear. She opened the door, and she was walk on a white man hating type tip. This guy never spoke about white men or what white people privilege. He just was helping black people. He wasn't like hating white people. He was just helping black people.
But how does that? What does that have to do with you being surprised that a son man killed another human being?
What would have made this a little better if she had had the baby like standing up while she was spinning on the ops, and the baby just dropped out of her and like started walking like a giraffe does. That would really have sealed it.
The pregnant part kind of got me, but
the kid comes out
that's
shooting
to be
himself.
expected.
The kid would have came out shooting himself.
Oh, good one. That would have been even better.
Dropped out and just holding his umbilical cord in one hand and a gun in another hand.
Yeah, came out rapping.
Right, rapping with the Uzi.
With a do-rag on.
Oh my God, man. Yeah, man. She's literally like this girl. This is the female of the species.
Marvel of evolution.
Like if you can't, and this is another thing. If you're having this much problem with the female of the species, man.
Facts.
Man.
You finna do try to rob her?
Moments later, investigators say Wright started vigorously flagging down the guy she got into a fight with the day before. He was driving his 2003 green Honda Accord on South Cooper Street. He slowed down, and Wright's brother pulled a handgun from his waistband and shot the guy in the back.
We thought he was shooting at us. We jumped down behind our truck because we had said something to him.
A few weeks later, Wright was taken into custody and charged with attempted first-degree murder. And Wright remains locked up. Her mother tells us she was 8 months pregnant at the time of the arrest and recently gave birth while she was incarcerated. She also told us her brother, who is 15 years old, was also arrested just days after he was injured in a separate shooting. As for the Trineri case, the chamber told us today, out of respect for the family and the judicial process.
We should have respect for the family. They've clearly got so much respect for themselves.
Her 15-year-old brother was injured in a separate shooting. So nothing to do with nothing in this fucking news story. He gets shot and he's arrested. He was shot and arrested, and it's something different. He's 15.
This is sick. This is crazy, man.
And you make a good point earlier, right? These are the people specifically that are reproducing like no other.
Yeah, she had already had little baby Rickinikia.
And I'm sure he has a. I don't know.
Hold on, Wiki. You guys are.
Yeah, hombre.
Y'all are doing what white people need to do. Y'all
are really the ones dropping out like giraffes.
No.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. What I'm saying
Indians
though, is in the context of this, though. In the context of this chaos, it's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
I'd rather y'all produce than them.
You need, right now, a white person, a white conservative needs to have a baby to literally just balance that baby she just spit out. And it's like, they're not doing that. They're not having babies. They're waiting until they're...
Why do you think that is, Hyde? Why do you think, because that's a known fact, right? White.
I mean, culture has a lot to do with it. I don't know about why. I think there's different things with class and stuff for gliders, but I tell you from the perspective of somebody who's dated a Sun woman before, that in New Orleans anyway, they think they're crazy if they don't have a fucking kid by 19. At 22, you're too old to have kids. Well, what you doing? You
the
too
gliders.
Old.
The gliders.
No. Sun people. Gliders.
No, but I'm saying with the gliders. I'm asking
about the gliders. Well, gliders don't act like that and they don't think like that, so that's probably one reason.
Is it because they're worried about money or it's confusing. You guys don't. Everybody knows that you guys don't really reproduce.
I think culturally speaking, it's just not it's frowned upon to have kids at a really young age.
I feel and I could be wrong, but I feel a lot of it is fisherman-esque.
It's not just having a lot of kids; it's having kids at when you're fucking 16, starting at 16. It's half of these kids' dads are dead by the time they're 18. It doesn't matter because they had 2 fucking broods already.
But gliders are not having kids, period, though, right?
Yeah, not at a fucking rate commensurate with anybody else.
No, period.
No.
Period.
because your numbers in Europe and in North America are like a negative birth rate. The birth rate was a big story last couple of years. How the white birth rate has dropped like literally.
Yeah, it's not that gliders aren't having kids; it's just below replacement. I'm sure that's probably true.
And that's another reason for immigration, like because the Social Security and the workforce needs those bodies, and white people aren't really producing those bodies.
A fact.
You
You
know?
know, and let's be honest here too, guys. Guys like Fisherman, they're not gonna have. If he has a kid, it's not gonna be with a glider queen.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not
he's
gonna be
too
with a
busy
glider queen.
telling her how like the Jews are controlling everything, and I mean, this is all their fault, right? I mean, they need more meat for the grinders, and we're just not producing enough, so we have to be phased out.
Fisherman is gonna have if and when it's gonna be with a tiger queen or an umbrella. I'm calling it right
Yeah,
now.
a nice Filipina or something.
Shout out to LBB Ridge. She says, finally caught you live. Wanted to help support the channel. Salute. Yeah, man. Recognition.
Just days after he was injured in a separate shooting. As for the Trineri case, the chamber told us today, out of respect for the family and the judicial process, it would be inappropriate for us to comment on the case at this time. The case is set for the trial at the end of the year. Jessica Gertler, WREG, News Channel 3.
Now, Wright's cousin is one of the men facing trial for Trineri's murder. His family claims that he has a low IQ, but the state ruled that he is competent to stand trial. We'll keep you updated.
Remember I told you a few minutes ago, everyone seems to be fully aware of what's going on out here, except for, and listen, I get in trouble for this because I'm telling you, the reason I'm not invited to debate people, the reason people don't come up bigger, conservative, like of the conservative, like intelligentsia on YouTube, no one has ever spoken to me. Pool, BCP, all these people, none of them, Tatum, they've never even spoken my name. They know I saw a video about this guy. I mentioned it was pretty good. None of them ever mentioned me. You know what I'm saying? Or said a word or said, go to this guy's chip. Nothing. And I'm telling you, it's because I'm an IQ guy and I'm a DNA guy. I'm telling you,
And what you're saying is just very simple. Like, why is it that this one group is so fucking vastly out of proportion when it comes to just brazen violence than anyone else? I mean, it begs the question.
And I think there's a 0% chance that, you know how YouTube says people that are watching this video also watch this video on YouTube? I forget how they worded it. There's no way that people that are not watching them are not watching. It doesn't. You don't come up. You do come up, and they see your shit. I don't doubt it for a second.
Yeah, and plus I've been on here for a long time too. It's not like I'm just new. So it's like,
and they agree. I'll bet money they fucking agree.
Yeah,
to whatever extent.
And when I watch their videos, they're like, "Hey, man, check out them." They're shouting each other out. You know what I'm saying? They're like, "Hey, check out this. You see this guy? This guy. Oh, this guy."
I wish I remember how I got recommended you, because that must have been how I stumbled upon your video the first time. It was one of the car videos or something.
Most of the people that talk about me have already been deplatformed. Press 1, like TRS or AIU. Most of the people that will mention me have already been deplatformed.
Did Tommy mention you?
Nah, Tommy didn't mention me, but it's like I'm talking about people that are like conservative, like people that do the similar content that I do.
I can think of there's Black Gen Z and Chaotic Truth, and I'm sure there's others. But
yeah, but those are smaller channels.
That's it.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
I'm talking about like Black Gen Z is like he's like Bert. This channel kind of like gave birth to him. We guided him into his. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody here subscribed to him. Almost all of his subscribers came from this channel. He used to come on the show.
Yeah, he came from inside and not from out.
Yeah, we did the first hour together. I used to have him on for the first hour of the show every night. You know what I'm saying? and before I brought anybody else up for the first
Damn,
like
that's
6
what's
months.
up.
Yeah. So it's like he's from the inside. I'm talking about people that are, you know what I'm saying, from the outside.
I loved your take on Tim Pool. I like fucking hate Tim Pool. He's just so.
Yeah, man. It's like, yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'm being blacked out, like, because that's kind of how you grow. You know, you go on this guy's channel, you get introduced to his audience, you know what I'm saying? And you go to this guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm being boxed out because it's DNA, man, and it's IQ, man, and there's nothing you can do about it.
No solution.
Out of respect for the family and the judicial process, it would be inappropriate for us to comment on the case at this time. The case is set to go to trial at the end of the year. Jessica Gertler, WREG News Channel 3.
Now, Wright's cousin is one of the men facing trial for Trenari's murder. His family claims that he has a low IQ, but the state ruled that he is competent to stand trial. We'll keep you updated on those cases.
Yeah, he's another retarded son where he tells something they don't fucking know.
At 5, a Memphis woman who worked as a corrections officer was shot and killed in Indiana. WREG's Marcus Hunter spoke to her father, who says his daughter had a bright future.
Memphis Pastor Lamont Harris's daughter, Rayma, was in the process of becoming a police officer when she was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting.
She would have been a great officer because she loved people.
It happened last month in St. Joseph County, Indiana. The sheriff calling it another senseless act of violence.
Getting that call that my only child has been tragically shot. And not just shot, but she didn't agitate anything. She wasn't involved in any mishaps.
Rayma Harris grew up in Memphis and graduated from Southeast Prep Academy. When she died, she was living in northern Indiana and had been a corrections officer for nearly a year. According to her father, she was visiting a friend near South Bend, Indiana, in Mishawaka when she was shot. The St. Joseph County Sheriff said the shooting was retaliation in an ongoing feud. Several minors were in the house at the time. The sheriff said Harris was not the intended target.
The children that were...
Man,
that's fucked up.
You know, these guys, if they want to hit their target, he should have aimed at her.
Well, maybe they were trying to hit the children.
Shit.
The intended target.
The house apparently had issues or beef with some other kids. And that's how this, and she was in the
they
middle
were
of it,
trying to
in
hit the
home.
children.
And these other children, nothing happened to them. But my daughter, my child, was shot.
A week ago, Harris was buried with full military and police honors. She was a decorated Army veteran. Her father says knowing how focused she was and how many lives she touched makes him proud.
At the cemetery, there were so many St. Joe County correctional officers that came up to me and her mom and just said, you know, your daughter was exceptional at God, you know, and even the inmates loved her.
He said the family received letters of condolences from some of the inmates. Now that he has laid his daughter to rest, he is hoping that the ones responsible for her murder will be held accountable. Harris says, according to the police, the suspects they have in custody are between the ages of 17 and 20 years old.
And it's unfortunate that...
Shit. Hold on.
Uh-oh. I'm in trouble or what, guys?
Shit. Oh, this is about fucking par for the course. Bunch of son teens shoot up at a bunch of other like 15-year-olds and, you know, kill the prospective police officer son woman who protect black women, right? Who the fuck are we protecting them from?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I'm still stunned at the one stat that said that black women get gunned down at a higher rate than all other men of other races, including Hispanics. Think about that.
They're also gunning people down at a higher rate than men of other races for the most part.
Maybe not Hispanic, man. That's actually I wonder.
I don't know.
I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they were, but I
They are
doubt it.
certainly outgunning every other group of women on the planet.
Combined.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're doing it while 8 months pregnant and fucking, shitting babies out in the middle of the highway and gunning down, a dude that looked at them funny.
Cut him off.
Yeah, that's a fucking capital offense in Blakistan street court.
But again,
Sentencing
think about
to getting Swiss cheesed.
yeah, dude. But I mean, think about that stat again, dude. That they're getting gunned down at higher rates than Asian men, white men. It's not surprising, right?
It's
Because
insane. It's
it's not
madness.
surprising.
No, it's not, yeah.
What is shocking is that they're getting gunned down at higher rates than Hispanic men. That is incredible.
Yeah, that's
That is impressive.
out of the league for sure.
Because again, I mean, we like this sort of shit, you know. We look how black
Not
we
as much as some women.
Right. Hi, you gotta understand, Hispanics put the bang in gang bang. So that's impressive, is all I'm saying. You all right there, Chief?
Yeah, nah. Some truck was doing some crazy shit out there. Shit, yeah. Whew. Man, this is a rough story.
Harris says, according to the police, the suspects they have in custody are between the ages of 17 and 20 years old.
And it's unfortunate that these are children, but again, there has to be some consequences.
Harris says he is in grief counseling to help him cope with this loss. In Whitehaven, and Marcus Hunter, WREG News Channel 3.
What a tragic case there. Our hearts go out to that family.
Shit, man.
Damn. So this is a corrections officer from Memphis? It's like, isn't Brown Sugar a corrections officer from Memphis?
Thursday morning chaos quickly turned a Shelby.
Brown Sugar, I think she don't live in Indiana.
Thursday morning chaos quickly turned a Shelby County courtroom into a crime scene.
He's gone, and then you're probably in the safest place. You at 201 Poplar. All the metal detectors.
She supposed to be in the, that's the jail, man. 201 Poplar is the jail. That's not the safest place, baby.
Thursday morning chaos quickly turned a Shelby County courtroom into a crime scene.
He's gone, and then you're probably in the safest place. You at 201 Poplar. All the metal detectors, all the sheriff deputies, that's unheard of to me.
LaQuita Bird is trying to wrap her mind around the unimaginable. Her son's death while in custody of the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
I don't understand.
The Shelby County Sheriff's Office says her son, 25-year-old Dion Bird, an inmate at 201 Poplar, was stabbed in the neck. Deputies say the unidentified suspect is another inmate who happened to get a shank from his cell to the courtroom. Mrs. Bird says she learned of the tragedy from her son's lawyer.
He stabbed him at the courtroom. Okay, I thought he stabbed him at the gym. Yeah, that's crazy.
We're gonna bypass the irony of her saying that the courtroom, police station, whatever, is the safest place for a black man. She missed a memo on that one.
Yeah, man.
I would have thought that his death there would be pretty commonplace.
Right, exactly. In the belly of the beast in the white man's judicial system. But like we said earlier, man, everyone knows, man. People know what's happening out here. She knows that, with all those sheriff deputies and all those bailiffs and all those police and all those metal detectors. That's what it takes to keep a black man safe.
And it still didn't work.
Right. But the fact that it didn't work.
He'd have been dead a lot sooner.
She's going to let you know about it.
Trouble or whatever, you made bad mistakes. Don't make you a bad person. And I feel like my son did not. I know he didn't deserve this.
Bird's father tells WREG he was at work at the courthouse when he found out.
You're thinking that they should have the right to be safe, even though they may have committed a crime. Because my son wasn't perfect. He shouldn't have been killed going to court.
Judge Paula Scan agrees. Records show Bird was on her docket for a first-degree murder case.
He could have lunged at me.
Oh, okay, I was just about to ask, what did he do? I just killed another son word, no big deal.
Okay.
He wasn't perfect.
And agrees. Records show Bird was on her docket for a first-degree murder case.
He could have lunged at me. Anybody could have been attacked. I just don't understand how this can happen.
Scan says elevators were not working during the time of the incident, so Bird, who was stabbed in the neck, left a bloody trail throughout the courtroom as he was rushed to Regional 1, where he later died.
Damn, what a crazy scene that must have been, man. Some man stumbling around, gushing like a stuck pig through the courtroom. The other guy just like, he basically said, fuck it. He must have been done too. Like he must have knew he wasn't never coming home. Jeez. And this shows the focus. Like, had it been like a job interview on the other side of town with like 2 days notice, hey man, in 2 days, there's a job interview on the other side of town, that some man would have had 1,000 excuses why he couldn't make it. I don't have the right clothes, man. I'm gonna get older. I need a ride, But when it came to killing, they never let anything stop them.
Walter White levels
Nothing
of
stop
the hard ones for the ones, huh?
DNA desires what it desires.
Exactly, man.
The other inmate who stabbed him was also let out about 20 minutes later, yelling and screaming, I didn't do it, I didn't do it.
WREG tried several times to reach Sheriff Floyd Bonner by phone, in person, and email, but we were told he was unavailable. Sadly, the Bird family says this is the second son of theirs that has been killed, and they do want justice.
Jesus Christ. Every...
Oh my God,
man. You could do a bingo board with shit like this for every news report.
Every night. We could literally do a bingo night. You know what I mean? Like, and bingo. Bingo. Bingo.
Man, I mean...
who has a pregnant sister gunning down
family members knew somebody was murdered, other son was shot to death.
Oh my God.
Girl who was shot to death was going to be tried for shooting somebody else.
Oh my God, man.
Who has a rapper in Jacksonville?
It's pretty much I'm left on my own.
Oh my God, man.
It's pretty much I'm left on my own.
The single mother wanted her story told. We're hiding her identity to protect her teenage daughters.
My child is having issues that I don't understand. It may be an underlying mental health condition, but I don't know.
What's clear, she says her daughter started becoming defiant in the 3rd grade.
Outbursts to get up, walk out of class.
While working a full-time job and being a single mother to 4 girls, she says these past few years have been tough. She says she's tried counseling, homeschooling, and other treatment services, but nothing's working because she says her daughter knows they're voluntary. Her daughter's now 15.
That's when she started getting physically violent, like destroying my property, disturbing the neighbors.
And I was told to record all of her behavior.
She began documenting her daughter's outburst and even called police when she told her daughter to do chores, and she became outraged. She says her daughter assaulted her and ran away. That's when she reached out to Shelby County Juvenile Court to see if she could get help that's court ordered.
I was told that I'm not the only parent that's experiencing these situations. There's hundreds of other parents in the city, all over the city, that's experiencing things that's just like yours, and some of them are worse than yours.
She says there wasn't anything juvenile court could do.
Tell them wait till they get 18, then you don't have to deal with that. Sorry, I will have to deal with that. My apologies. Because not only would I have to deal with it, everybody that's outside of my door will have to deal with my child.
We do, have someone that a parent can talk to that can kind of try to determine if it's a place in which we might be able to provide some referral resources.
Juvenile Court Deputy CAO Stephanie Hill couldn't comment on this mother's case. It was the first time hearing about it during our interview. What she could say, they soon hope to make it easier for parents to find help.
We are looking to, when we revise our website, be able to list out resources that, families can tap into.
If you put them in detention because of their disobedience, they're the ones that are going to be adversely affected, because the hardcore delinquents will affect her more than she will affect them.
Dan Michaels, the former Shelby County Juvenile Court judge.
No, there are not enough programs to handle children who disobey.
And he says there's not enough being devoted to mental health.
Mental health is ignored in this country. And a lot of the kids I saw had serious mental health issues that never got addressed.
Especially if they don't have the right health insurance and support.
If mom doesn't have the support from her family and the community to help this child, it's already a community problem, right? And she's right. If she doesn't address it now, it may get worse.
A fear
You didn't
this
even
mother
mention
has
that at all.
as her daughter battles peer pressure and social media. She continues to see other teens wind up on the wrong path and wonders if their parents couldn't find the right support either.
You have to cry. You worry all the time. You're on pins and needles. You fear the worst.
This mother wanted to do this interview to let the community know just how complex this problem has become.
It's not bad parenting. It's lack of support. We are out here. We are
Lack of support. It's DNA. I think it's DNA and IQ. But you can say it's lack of support. Like, what support would you have, like, in the jungle? What support would you have on the savannah? What support would you have on a...
Let's cope.
Spear. Gotta be a spear.
Yeah, man.
Hey, look, I mean, gliders get defiant and fuck shit up as kids too, but I didn't see anything about her daughter, spinning the block on anybody. That's where I draw the line. It's like, plenty of other kids are disruptive and have moody, troubled teens, but like they're not out here killing people in droves, except individually in microcosm, basically. It's just not happening otherwise.
Give me another city.
But you know what? I gotta be honest with you. If you don't mind me saying, if I was black, I gotta admit, what would bother me the most about you is not the shit you're saying, right? Because it's all true. But what would bother me is you have gliders like Johnny Reb and Fisherman who sound like they were in the cavalry for Robert E. Lee. You have guys like me. You got guys like me who barely speak English talking about son issues, about family matters, Chief. It will bother me. I gotta be honest. 'Cause the way some people think, they'd be like, "Man, why are you talking about our shit with others? With the others."
Right, no doubt, and that's something that black people, they spend very little of their time talking about black issues that matter. Guess what they spend the majority of their time talking about?
Stupid shit.
White folk.
Right.
White folk and fucking other people. Black people don't address their issue. Like, there's no conversation right now in all of Blakistan going on outside of maybe some program or some people getting paid to do it about what we're talking about right now. There's nobody talking about this.
Right.
Nobody.
And
Not one
then I know.
conversation.
Right. And then I know me. I'm a bit harsh, I guess. Maybe I don't know. But I promise I'm trying. I'm working on myself. I'm trying to fall back a little bit and just accept it for what it is. And if I see a son man shoot a kid with a straight bullet, then maybe the son man had his reasons. I don't know. Maybe he was traumatized, or I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
For every Sun kid that gets shot, it seems like there's a shocked older glider man, but witnessing it nearby that's going to testify for the news later.
Yeah, it's a situation that everyone knows what's going. Everyone sees this stuff, man.
Why are we all here? We all have post-traumatic sun disorder.
Yeah, everybody sees this shit, man. It's so encompassing too.
Friends came together to remember a beloved educator here in Atlanta who was shot and killed while living in Chicago last month. News Edge report.
Like, I mean, like educators, corrections officers, whatever profession you are in.
Bus drivers, like the one yesterday.
Bus drivers, whatever profession. Yeah, the profession. If you have a profession, pick one. The last 10 people who have died in that profession have either been sons or killed by sons.
It's kind of like how you said recently, how some people turn on valet parking into the trenches.
God damn, that's such a good point. Like Uber driver, plumber, like when's the last fucking, roofer that died probably was fucking shot by a stray bullet from a sunman, not from falling off a roof. Like, you're right. They're just fucking incredibly hazardous to people in regular, like, trades and occupations.
Yeah, they kill people that would have never died any other way but that way. Right. You dig what I'm saying? Like, not people that, like, not fishermen that are crabbers or something. Like, you know how those boats where they out there in the middle of the Alaskan Ocean? Like, those people are in danger every time a cop maybe is in danger. Black people kill people that aren't doing things that are putting them in danger.
I wonder if what the number one cause of death for Uber drivers is.
Without a doubt, if I typed in Uber driver right now,
if it's not car crashes, there's something seriously wrong, right?
Uber driver dead. If you put an Uber driver dead or killed, we know what it's gonna be. We know what it's gonna be.
Uber driver dead. He was killed by sunman. Like, I mean,
this is what I'm talking about.
There may be a dead Uber driver while we're doing Atlanta right now. Like, that's how crazy it is. Like, they may go to Uber driver in Atlanta in the last day or two.
And I mean, one last thing. One last thing. We could literally put Uber driver dead, and it could be an Umbrito that killed him, the one that comes out first. And Sons will be like, see, what does that mean? That means
I Googled
nothing.
it. There's 20 results, and like every one of them is a different Uber driver being shot by their passenger, or being shot by somebody who's shooting at the passenger.
Yeah, but do you get what I'm saying now? Do you understand me? Like, it could be a glider. It could be a glider that comes up on a friend. They'll be like, look, you see? That means nothing. When the overwhelming amount.
Everyone else is held to a standard of perfection. You got to be careful about people that hold themselves to no standard, but hold other people to a standard of perfection, because it tells you what they think about. Like, you can't tell me Black people don't have some type of reverence for gliders. Even though, like, they talk shit, we give you the blues. We give gliders the blues. We hound y'all. You know what I'm saying? But there's a reverence for y'all. There's a reverence for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? We think of you. We think highly of you. You know what I'm saying?
It's a complicated relationship.
Yeah, the standard we hold you to.
And friends came together to remember a beloved educator here in Atlanta who was shot and killed while living in Chicago last month. News Edge reporter Kim Leffler has more of the family's ongoing calls for justice.
Dozens of people gathered Saturday sharing memories of former Kent Metro Atlanta Schools assistant principal Abner Joseph. He worked as an educator in Atlanta for almost a decade.
In a way that only he could, Abner was able to reach the hardest to reach scholar, and it was because he cared. I think I'm leaving this space wondering how he made such special connections with all these people. But everyone says the same story, that he impacted them deeply, he loved them deeply, and he showed up in a way that was so special.
I really do appreciate all y'all coming out. That means a lot, because we do want
justice for what happened to Abner.
Joseph moved to Chicago a little over a year ago to teach at a charter school there. Chicago police say Joseph was shot multiple times at his downtown high-rise last month after a dispute with another tenant. He later died from his injuries. That tenant, who has a concealed...
Damn. Wow.
with another tenant. He later died from his injuries. That tenant, who has a concealed carry license, wasn't charged. Police say Joseph was pounding on doors in the building the night he was killed and allegedly injured a doorman. But his family says...
So even this guy, and I believe that. Press one if you believe that he was doing that. I believe that. I believe he was doing that. That's hard to make up, man. That's a hard story to make up. You know how many people have to be in on that? You're pounding on doors in the middle of the night. Like, that's a lot of people that have to make up that lie.
Yeah.
You understand? And for what? You know what I'm saying?
Very specific thing for a lot of people to confirm.
Just like...
over a year ago, teach at a charter school there. Chicago police say Joseph was shot multiple times at his downtown high-rise last month after a dispute with another tenant. He later died from his injuries. That tenant, who has a concealed carry license, wasn't charged. Police say Joseph was pounding on doors in the building the night he was killed and allegedly injured a doorman. But his family says that's not like him. They want answers and are calling for an investigation into his death and for the people involved to be held responsible.
Don't stop fighting for Abner. Your work is not in vain. The calls that you made to the state's attorney office, Kim Fox, like the pressure that you put on her, she actually did.
Oh my God. So now they're asking for Kim Fox to prosecute somebody. So this is obviously a white guy. This is obviously a white guy. If he got killed by somebody and they're asking for this.
I don't know. I think Sun, but it's like to the point where even the Sun people there are calling for it. She just, I don't know.
You're from Chicago, right? So
no. I've been here for the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah. So I'm not super familiar with
buildings? It. Who lives in those buildings downtown?
Gliders primarily, I would expect. In downtown in the nice areas, I guess.
Salute to Alicia Shadow. She says, if some sons seem to believe it's DNA and accept that they will take full advantage of it. If sons, Alicia, man, I'm fucking, come. Okay, I got you. If sons come to believe it's DNA and accept that, they will take. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sons, yeah, that's true. That's true. Facts.
It'd be like an amendment to the Constitution for DNA equity.
Man, I got bad DNA, man. You already know that. So, man, you gotta give me some free stuff, man. Yeah. But that's literally what society's doing, though.
Y'all build society around people with good DNA and shit. Y'all didn't consider us when y'all built that society. Or we built that society for y'all.
Right, yeah, because they built this country. You gotta remember that.
He did reach out.
While the family continues their push for answers, they're focusing on ways to honor him and his impact on the community.
Abner was so real. He was popular. He was everything. So for this guy to just take him away, absolutely not.
A spirit and a soul as beautiful as his that's not with us, and we just don't understand how there must be justice.
In Atlanta, Kim Luffler, Fox 5 News.
All right, Kim Luffler, thanks so much.
Okay, that's the white guy from.
Senator John Ossoff continues to shine.
I want to know who killed my son. That's what I want to know.
A demand for justice from 45-year-old Corey McDonald's mom. She says he was a hardworking father of two, an aspiring author. Police say 2 guys shot him, took his car, then left him in the back seat before setting it on fire on the shoulder of I-20, October 5th.
I don't understand how someone could just
murked.
hurt and just jump somebody just like that and kill them. You know, his wallet missing, his phone missing. You just kill somebody for what?
People driving along here on I-20 noticed that a car was on fire under the Gresham Road overpass. Called it in. When firefighters got here, they found McDonald's body in the back seat.
I never had this feeling before where it's this close to home.
The driver on I-20, who called 911, told the operator they saw 2 men in ski masks set fire to the black Audi, then run off on foot. Firefighters.
Yo, man, I mean, listen, man. This is why it's so offensive when I hear a white person say, well, black people are scared of police. That's why they resist arrest. These guys robbed this guy, beat him up, set his car on fire on the shoulder of a major highway in one of our flagship cities.
You never
He
hear
just
about them
ran
like
off on
jumping
foot.
bodies into the lake or, you know, trying to be surreptitious about it. It's pretty much doing it in the fucking open every time.
Yeah, like this was so brazen. This is such a brazen crime that it's impossible for these people to be afraid of cops. It's impossible.
They're so afraid of them, they run them over with their car and videotape it. And then when the cops arrest them, they're like, man, y'all can't keep me in this shit. We'll see.
Never had this feeling before where it's this close to home.
The driver on I-20, who called 911, told the operator they saw 2 men in ski masks set fire to the black Audi, then run off on foot. Firefighters got to it before the flames destroyed it and all the evidence with McDonald's body in the back.
I do want to know why. I do want to know the reason. If I could, I want to know why. Why would you do it?
His brother says he's had a really hard time making sense of who would do such a thing. DeKalb police say their investigation is ongoing, and it's not clear if they've named any suspects. People who love McDonald's say they need the killers caught so they can find peace.
Melanin.
I wish that God will reveal these people and they could go to prison because that's where they need to go. They should not be out on the street.
It's been devastating. It's just unbelievable.
As you can imagine, his family now wants answers. They want whoever was responsible for this locked up. If you have any information, they want you to give Atlanta Crime Stoppers a call. That number is 404-5776.
Hey,
Cap
put
County, love your answer.
that shit on the bingo board. Some women wearing some fucking black Kang fucking melanated greatness shirt shit while doing these fucking interviews of the people that they know have been killed.
I mean,
That's only been, we've seen that, what, like 3 times in the last week?
yeah, man. It's bizarre, man. Bizarre group of people, man. A very bizarre group of people.
Breaking news from Athens now. A federal jury has convicted a former UGA football player in connection with the murder of an Oconee County gas station worker. The jury in Athens found Akil Crumpton guilty of attempted robbery.
This is your University of Georgia football player. Hey, man, how come you couldn't memorize the plays, man? Why you ain't been studying film, man? What you doing after practice, man? Oh, okay.
Robbing the racetrack.
Oconee County gas station worker. The jury in Athens found Akil Crumpton guilty of attempted robbery with the use of a firearm and violating a federal firearms purchase law. The charges are connected to the March.
Yep, I knew this one.
Of course, man.
The fucking unabated slaughter continues. You talk about getting pissed off about when you hear that shit. When you gotta hear, oh, you know, we're getting hunted every day. That shit woke a lot of gliders up, I think. Yeah, if you want to talk, maybe not. Maybe there was already the people who were woke to the problem, so to speak. But like the unmitigated gall to be saying some shit like that when there's a never-ending parade of fucking bodies. There's like a fucking Baba Yar of fucking gliders every year.
he killed this guy for probably $25.
Right, over the
Right.
stupidest, like it's almost worse than like a targeted manifesto mass shooting because you died because of some man said, fuck, I'm gonna take this car. Like you died because a son man had like the basest impulse, and you happen to be the one that occurred nearby. Congratulations, that's like the fucking sum of your life. That's truly horrifying to me. I do not want to die that way.
Yeah, man.
So I'm crossing to the other side of the street. Thank you very much.
Hey, chaos right now. At least 10 people shot in Chicago right now. I'm listening to it.
Oh man, you think they're gonna cover? We'll go to Chicago next, man. We'll go to Chicago next, man. Wow. Salute to IA, man. He says another psychological trap is social media. All over is nothing but sons giving advice.
Hey, listen to this. Listen to this.
Units attended today for the 10-1, 13th of Pulaski. At least 4 people shot. 13th at Pulaski for the 10-1. 4 people shot.
Pulaski, one offender in custody. Officer, one offender in custody.
All right, offender in custody is 109.
Oh wow, they got the guy.
Sons are on burritos.
Cover 10-4.
Don't worry.
All right.
I don't know yet.
Wow, Chicago turning up, man. One of the guys we did. What do you know about that murder in the high rise in Chicago, where the teacher, he was an educator from Atlanta. He had just moved to Chicago and he was banging on people's doors.
Yeah, so he was like a normal person. I know people that know him too, but yeah. So the actual, like, it says like he was knocking on doors, and then he started like beating the shit out of somebody. And old dude, the guy that ended up shooting him, came out and was trying to tell him like, stop, I'm armed, stop. And he stopped beating the shit out of him and then started walking towards the guy with the gun, and the dude with the gun shot him. Yeah, but it was like super uncharacteristic of him, you know what I'm saying, to do that.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Yeah, he seemed like a real nice guy. So I don't know what the fuck happened. It had to have been something with some drugs though, like for him to just wild out like that out of nowhere.
But he was doing what they said they did.
Nah, he was doing what they said they did, but they said he did, yeah. That was he did that shit, yeah.
County gas station worker. The jury in Athens found Akil Crumpton guilty of attempted robbery with the use of a firearm and violating a federal firearms purchase law. The charges are connected to the March 2021 murder of racetrack worker Elijah Wood near Watkinsville. Crumpton faces 20 years in prison for attempted robbery and a maximum of 10 years in prison for the firearm charge. He is not eligible for parole, and his sentencing.
What about the murder charge?
Yeah, no word on that.
Maybe I missed it. Let me run it back.
Wood near Watkinsville. Crumpton faces 20 years in prison for attempted robbery and a maximum of 10 years in prison for the firearm charge. He is not eligible for parole, and his sentencing will take place at a later date. Crumpton will stand trial on the murder charges in state court.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Georgia, one of the part of Dixie racist states. I mean, I don't think they would leave that out.
All right, man. I was like, wow, wait a second. What the hell's going on?
My people are being killed in droves, Zach. That's what's going on. This is fucking like bury my heart at Glider Mountain or something.
Wow, man. Yeah, man. Y'all get we got a foot in y'all ass, man. Let's see. Maybe we gotta go to online, man. It's Twitter to see this shooting, man.
It's sons, y'all.
Huh?
It's
sons, y'all.
Yeah, I mean,
sons confirmed.
Yeah.
Of course it's sons, man.
Unfortunately.
Always sons. It's always sons, man. It's always
If
sons.
it weren't for some people, do you think, like, I think you said this before, most cities wouldn't need a fucking dedicated homicide wing of the police
No.
department with employing, multiple tens of detectives.
Right. Listen, man. The fact that most of these cities, like Indianapolis and DC, are bringing in federal homicide detectives to help with the backlog, just to clear up some of the back cases. So and then you have dozens and dozens of cities who don't have that federal help, that are just, the homicide detectives are working like fucking 12, 15 cases at a time and shit.
Nah, it's way more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about in like regular cities, like not
Oh,
like
okay.
Chicago.
Nah, in
So
Chicago, these
just
motherfuckers
like,
be having like 30 fucking cases at one time.
Yeah, it's like, it's just like,
it's unlimited. It's unlimited money though. I tell you that. If you become a homicide detective here, you can literally just work all motherfucking day every day.
Yeah, on the clock.
Like you can make you can make 300,000 easily.
Yeah, I bet, man. I says another psychological trap is social media all over is nothing but sons giving advice, even though they are the most dysfunctional. Not only is it making people dysfunctional, but alludes sons are gurus. Yeah, that's true. Like, that is true. That's a lot of some people giving advice. That's crazy. I never thought of it like that, but now that you said that,
Yeah, the media portrays some people as like people to be looked up to and idolized and like lifestyle emulated.
yeah, that's true. We are almost worshipped in Western culture. Hold on, let me blow my nose. Hold on one second.
Hey, it's at least fucking 4 sisters hit up at this mass shooting. So
Damn.
it's a
Sun women.
fest.
Yeah, who kills Sun women the most? The only people killing Sun women more than Sun women or Sun men.
Yeah, some men kill some women at a crazy rate. Like, did
it's not
we
even
come to a
close.
conclusion saying that like Sun women are more of a likely to be a homicide victim than white men?
Yeah, more likely to. Wicked was saying even more likely than Umbrito men.
Nah. I wouldn't go that far due to the fact that Burrito men do have their whole gang wars, and then you got California, you got Texas, you got the Kings and stuff here.
If that's
they get
true,
busy.
if that's really true, then some women have gone to a new plateau here. But there's some really
these motherfuckers just screaming on this air in my ear. Jesus Christ. What a mess. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's more than Burrito men, but it's definitely more than glider men.
That would be truly shocking to me. Definitely more than glider men, though.
Yeah, it's definitely more than glider men. And then I even put them over if it's more than glider men, it's every other demographic men except for Umbritos.
Savage.
Well,
right now, 4 people are in the hospital following a shooting in Hampton Park. It happened at around 12:45 early this morning in the 2000 block of North Laurel. A group of people were leaving a gathering when a vehicle approached them and started firing shots in the direction of that crowd. The victims are between the ages of 18 and 27 years old, and one of them is now in critical condition. Chicago police tell us no one is in custody at this time. Meanwhile, they say Area 5 detectives continued their investigation.
Wow. So you had a mass shooting.
A family is calling for justice.
You had a mass shooting yesterday morning.
There's a mass shooting every single day in Chicago, it seems.
Hey, they're gonna change the name. They're gonna change. They're gonna change the what is it? The fucking
definition.
Yeah, they're gonna change the definition. The standards are about to go
Right
up.
now,
Yeah.
people are in the hospital
Yeah, you
following
have
a
Inflation.
shooting.
You have to, yeah, you have to, like, because it's like 600 to 560 or something this year.
Yeah,
And
don't be
that
surprised. Don't
number's
be
too
surprised
big.
if they make like a super dramatic uptick in like the number, and they change that shit to 10 or 8. And then that might help their narrative though, with the 10 and 8, because gliders
Yeah.
actually they're accurate
Yeah.
when they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that
Oh,
literally.
only 7 were killed. That's not really fitting the definition.
Yeah, yeah. I could see that. I could see them going up. I could see them doing that, yeah.
A shooting at Navy Pier the night before Halloween celebrations is putting that threat. Navy Pier the night before Halloween celebrations is putting people on edge, but it appears tonight that threat is over. Fox 32's Nate Rogers has the latest in what was a collaboration between Chicago and state police.
Navy Pier officials declined to make an on-camera statement about this incident, but did send us a written statement in part saying that there is currently no active threat. Navy Pier resumed normal operations today, with many visitors unaware of the chaos hours earlier. Police say a man got into an argument with a woman he knew as they were exiting a ship. Security escorted the man away. Police say he returned moments later and began shooting in the vessel's direction.
The brazenness of that, like what they just described, is unreal.
Only one of the
that
most
is-
like populated, and it's one of the Navy Pier.
That is
Sons.
just insane. Oh, definitely. I mean, it's the
Context
brazenness.
clues.
Like, if you just listen, like sometimes you can just get jaded, but what this guy did was just unreal.
Active threat. Navy Pier resumed normal operations today, with many visitors unaware of the chaos hours earlier. Police say a
This
man got
shit.
into an argument
Like,
with a
listen to
woman
this
he
shit.
knew as they were exiting a ship. Security escorted the man away, but police say
They are on scene with 5 people shot. 8 people just showed up shot at the hospital.
Wow. Wow. And nobody's dead, right?
One person at critical is a sister.
All that, one person in critical. It's almost like monkeys with guns. Just like using the gun. No, seriously, using the gun is not necessarily a deadly weapon, but like a
Tool of your like immediate rage, and like I'm gonna point at this and like discharge my anger at you. Fuck you,
Exactly. And yes, a lot of people died. But
It's an impulse, the impulse tool.
Yeah.
Yes. Of disrespect almost. Like it's not even about killing them. It's like, oh, I'm fucking. You think I'm sweet?
Yeah. It's just weird. It's a weird relationship they have with guns, man.
that there is currently no active threat. Navy Pier resumed normal operations today, with many visitors unaware of the chaos hours earlier. Police say a man got into an argument with a woman he knew as they were exiting a ship. Security escorted the man away, but police say he returned moments later and began shooting in the vessel's direction.
Left the Garden of Decay. I'm a worker there, performer, and as we were leaving, we heard probably like 4 to 5 different gunshots. We just heard a couple of pops, and then next thing you know,
Like, if you listen to what he said, he began shooting in the vessel's direction.
Right, dead giveaway.
Like, he just, in that moment, it didn't matter who he hit, as long as the person he was mad at know that shots were being fired in their direction.
It's perplexing.
And there's no upcharge for that. Like, this will just be a regular discharging a firearm in a public place. There won't be like, yo, you could have killed
This is more than reckless discharge, right? This is like my impulse control is so bad that like I'm going to make a statement by shooting in the very general near direction of people just because I'm angry.
Yeah. And it's the same charge as if anybody else just
You're like
shot
playing
somebody.
fucking Russian roulette with their lives because like I ain't fucking having this shit, man.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you hit the person that you're mad at. It just that is not. If you would like to, you know what I'm saying, it would be nice. Like, oh, I hit him on great. But if you don't, it's there's no.
It's a victory to have shown that you'll do it.
Exactly.
You know, we had to call it and put people inside.
It happened around 12:30 a.m. Police say a 31-year-old woman was shot in the knee and transported to Northwestern
Okay,
Hospital.
great. So she got hit. That's awesome. And it's sad that you gotta say. I mean, it was her. Like it was her that got hit. I mean, I'm happy that it was her.
Yeah, nobody else.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know what they were arguing about, but whatever it was, she brought that sudden word down there, so she's responsible for it.
You brought him on a boat.
Yeah, man. And if there was going to be any gunfire and anybody hit, I would hope it would be her. As crazy as that sounds.
Sisters have the best alloy chassis for taking gunshots. So.
A 31-year-old woman was shot in the knee and transported to Northwestern Hospital in good condition. A statement by the waterfront destination said, quote, Navy Pier saddened by the isolated act of violence that occurred overnight. Due to our proactive security measures and the support from law enforcement, officials were able to identify the alleged assailant and his vehicle. There is no active threat to the pier at this time, and we continue to support law enforcement in their investigation. Now, Illinois State Police did issue a statement saying that they apprehended a vehicle possibly connected to this crime. We're still waiting to learn of charges. Outside Navy Pier, I'm Nate Rogers.
Wow. My God. My God. And if you see shootings, like, listen, man, if you got any shootings of white people shooting people in public spaces recently, other than the one we covered for 2 days in a row.
Other than the one, that's national news.
Yeah, if you have any of that, just send it at any time. It don't have to be tonight. It can be any time in the future. Because it from what I'm seeing, even with just this one show, if I didn't take my 7 years of doing this, if I threw all that, put that to the side, if I just took this one show, what I'm seeing is that when a gun is discharged in a public space in the continental United States, there's a 99% chance that it's a sun word.
Yeah, I think, the statistics that exist don't really capture the full extent of what is actually happening. In shootings in anger, Sun people are vastly overrepresenting themselves. Like, I mean, they, I think, are making up the majority of shootings in anger in this country. Whether that be mass shootings that hit people, if a gun is discharged, like you said, it's probably a Sun man that did it. And they weren't shooting at a deer or some shit.
But 10 shocking.
Yeah, it's just, it's safe to say that. Like, that's not controversial. You can say that and feel like, hey, I haven't said anything controversial. I'm not like being edgy. I'm not
here
like,
anyway.
It's not a hot take. No, but I mean, like, you could say that anywhere and feel that, like, yeah, you might be called racist or something like that, but you're not saying anything edgy. Sometimes you try to be edgy, like white people might try to be edgy or something.
Yeah,
like
okay, I agree with that. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter, right? Yeah. I'm not trying to be glib about it.
Yeah, now they're gonna call you racist, like
exactly for just knowing that fact.
Though. But everything is racist.
Yeah, everything's racist.
But hey, I really quick.
Do you remember the one study that we came across here that said that black women were getting gunned down at higher rates than even hombrito men, and we were stunned by it?
Yeah.
I'm not making that up. That literally was a report that was said. Why would I lie
Yeah.
about that?
Black women, anybody that's proximal to black men, black is going to be the highest in whatever their
A
group is.
lot of those black women were getting killed in the home by an intimate partner. However, a significant amount were also catching stray bullets, or they were driving, or they were at the gas station, they were at the grocery store, and they were just getting killed by random dudes.
And the other side of this coin is that sisters commit more violent crime per capita than glider men do.
Yeah, that's true. Mayo sent me something a
It
while
sounds
ago.
unbelievable. It sounds unbelievable because when we saw that, like, I remember, because again, I keep saying it, the Umbritos, and I said it to Hot Black earlier. I don't think you were here. We put the bang in gang bang. We do
Yeah,
this.
no doubt. You're Borgin. I don't know. Is he Borgin or is that me?
Yeah, you Borgin out.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just publicly any antisocial or irresponsible or reckless behavior done in the public sphere is almost always a son thing.
New at 10, shocking video posted online shows a teen assaulting unsuspecting people at Wortham Park in Northwest Harris County. ABC 13 Jessica Willie is live with the investigation and what that teen asked
Oh, like a mod, right? These joggers?
Erica, 19-year-old Alfred Lewis told me he is the one on video punching people from behind. Violent attacks here at this park near Jersey Village. Tonight, we know the Harris County Sheriff's Office Violent Crimes Unit is investigating.
I didn't expect him to do that. That's crazy.
Shocking video of attacks yesterday at Wortham Park in Northwest Harris County.
That's not cool. You come up to someone just like, punch them in their head for like no reason.
That's not cool.
Video of attacks yesterday at Wortham Park in Northwest Harris County.
That's not cool. Just come up to someone just like, punch them in their head for like no reason. Like, come on now.
What is usually a quiet green space for recreation.
I just love the scenery here. Just love that it's peaceful out here.
Was a place where two unsuspecting park goers were ambushed.
A lot going on here.
I see what this is. They had a typo. They meant to put attacks by joggers at Wortham Park.
You know, the funny thing about it is a lot going on here. So a lot of people see what's in their face, right? They see the sun man running up on white people and punching them in the back of their head at this safe suburban park, right? But then there's another side of the coin where this prank only doesn't get you killed at a white suburban park.
Right.
So it's like
doing this to Pookie.
So he's doing this there because he won't be murdered for it there, and he's doing it there because you know what I'm saying. So it's a lot going on.
Wow. But did you die though?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were assaulted, and yeah, the risk of getting killed was there. It's high. But did you die though?
Wow.
Recreation.
I just love the scenery here. Just love that it's peaceful out here.
Was a place where two unsuspecting park goers were ambushed.
I just think that it's terrible.
Not only were the two innocent victims targeted in separate attacks, but the assaults were recorded and posted on social media.
Attention.
Harris County Precinct 5 Constable's Office says a concern.
Think about this comments. Think about the comment. This guy is walking up on innocent white people, older. These guys will continue to be much older, probably in their 60s, and punching them in the back of their heads, which could kill somebody. One guy said it's not cool, and the other guy said he's looking for the wrong attention. When I tell you that people are terrified to say bad things about black people, black men, that's what I mean.
Right. I mean, you could
It's
kill a
not
young,
cool.
right. I mean, you could kill a young man with a hit to the back of the head. You know, so a healthy person, you could kill him, let alone
Yeah.
an older person.
Yeah, it's just bizarre that the fear of black men, the fear of people. I mean, this is a black guy and Hispanic guy, both with the similar fear as a white person has of saying something bad about a black person who's doing something completely reprehensible.
Right. Hey, I'm gonna roll out, and I don't mean to like jump around, but guess where that mass shooting in Chicago happened? Take a while again.
Austin,
You close.
Mondale,
Yeah,
Mondale.
Mondale. You good? You good?
Yeah. Hey.
Police come up and just like, punch him in the head for like no reason. Like, come on now.
What is usually a quiet green space for recreation
I just love the scenery. I just love that it's peaceful out here.
was a place where two unsuspecting park goers were ambushed.
I just think that it's terrible.
Not only were the two innocent victims targeted in separate attacks, but the assaults were recorded and posted on social media.
It's just the wrong attention.
The Harris County Precinct 5 Constable's Office says a concerned citizen called law enforcement. By Friday evening, the victims who hadn't reported the incidents initially had come forward. The Harris County Sheriff's Office.
And this is another thing. The victims hadn't reported those incidents. So just think about how much son crime doesn't get reported.
I just have to ask why. Why would they not report it? It's just an assault.
Yeah, it's just an assault. Like, he didn't take nothing. He didn't hurt. Like, it's like a son coming up and punching you. That's not my reality. But maybe if you're a guy who jogs or walks trails, a son coming up and just punching you out of nowhere is not like something that you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just something that just happens from time to time. You know?
They're
Maybe
probably
that's
just
what
happy they didn't get robbed or shot.
Yeah. Yeah, like he just punched him, beat him up a little bit, and then ran off laughing. And that's a victory. Maybe that's a victory. Maybe if you're an older glider who walks or runs or jogs, maybe that's something that's nondescript. Maybe you get home, honey, how was your jog? It was a little rough out there, but I'm all right. So you might not even tell your wife. I mean, that's how violent sons can be, man. Maybe that's what it is. And as somebody who's a son, maybe I don't know that because I'm a son. And this guy probably, that guy wouldn't do that to me. That guy wouldn't do that to me. He wouldn't run up on me and punch me in the back of my head.
Office says a concerned citizen called law enforcement. By Friday evening, the victims who hadn't reported the incidents initially had come forward. The Harris County Sheriff's Office launched an investigation, and we've learned this video is part of it. To ABC 13, 19-year-old Alfred Lewis admitted he was the teen on video wreaking havoc. In a text, he wrote, quote, "It was a prank. I had no problem with the man. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was just hanging out with my friend, and we did a TikTok. And so, yeah, I didn't mean to harm anybody." The video shows a gun in Lewis's pocket. The first victim appears to reason.
He's punching people in the back of the head, but he doesn't mean to hurt anybody. This
While
is what we're dealing with.
armed with a gun.
I did not realize that.
The criminal justice system is going to punish him in a way where it's going to kind of like support his sentiments. Like what he just said, as crazy as it is, the way the criminal justice system punishes him, you'll be like, okay, I get why he said that. Like, it's not going to be like, man, you in trouble, man. You crazy, man. You gonna pay for this. No, he's not going to pay for this. He's not going to be taught a really lesson, teach you a lesson. He's not going to be taught a lesson. He's not going to suffer for this. He's not going to have consequences for this. And that's crazy. What he said is literally what he should have said, given his status in the world.
19-year-old Alfred Lewis admitted he was the teen on video wreaking havoc. In a text, he wrote, quote, "It was a prank. I had no problem with the man. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was just hanging out with my friend and we did a TikTok. And so, yeah, I didn't mean to harm anybody." The video shows a gun in Lewis's pocket. The first victim appears to reason with him. Neighbors say they wouldn't be so patient.
He's 19. He's of age. I mean, he knows right from wrong. That's assault. And if I was to do something like that, I'd be arrested. I hope they...
He's 19. Yo, if a 6-year-old, little kids know how to do this. I'm around little kids with my daughter, man. She knows you don't do that.
They would be so patient.
He's 19. He's of age. I mean, he knows right from wrong. That's assault. And if I was to do something like that, I'd be arrested.
I hope he gets the help he needs and also spends time in jail for...
I hope he gets the help he needs. Look how terrified he is. Now, he did come back and say, I hope he spends time in jail, but he didn't feel safe saying that without first giving the caveat that he hopes he gets the help he needs. He wouldn't have just stand alone said, I hope he goes to jail.
You can really see the fear in his eyes. Like, he's terrified of saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, he's terrified. And we're talking about a guy that went around and is punching guys this age. We're talking about a 19-year-old guy that's coming up behind unsuspecting guys that are his age and clobbering in the back of the head. And then when they turn around, they're seeing a son man with a gun hanging out of his pocket who's still swinging on them. And this guy is shitting bricks thinking about how can I say something and not offend and not be get in trouble. How can I say something about these series of events and not get in trouble? If that ain't privilege, I don't know what privilege is, man. Y'all talk about white privilege, man. This is, give me this, man. This is the privilege. This is the privilege you want. Fuck that white privilege. You want this shit, man.
The first appears to reason with him. Neighbors say they wouldn't be so patient.
He's 19. He's of age. I mean, he knows right from wrong. That's assault. And if I was to do something like that, I'd be arrested.
I hope he gets the help he needs and also spends time in jail for something very dangerous. I mean, that could have been much worse than it was.
I wonder if he really means that or he's just saying it. Like, does he really want him to get help? Is he that kind of glider, or is he just saying what he thinks will sound good?
I think he's saying that so that he won't be called a racist because remember, there's too many black men in jail and mass incarceration and criminal justice system. So he's saying what he needs to say. It's like kind of like no offense, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a caveat.
This news.
Yikes, man.
Deadly assault on an...
Yikes, man. Wow. Unbelievable. Yo, tomorrow, man, I'll be back in Pennsylvania, man. with the good old Wi-Fi, man. Salute to everybody out here, man, that came through tonight, man. Salute to you guys, man. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Salute, Chief.
All right.
Peace out.